welcome to the Russian Grand Prix for Cobalt. We're a week late, but we got here in the end, didn't we? Of course, I hope you've all enjoyed, yourselves whilst we have been away for a week, goodness me, a week without Alr during the middle of the season. My word, what I've been doing with myself. I've cocooned myself basically my room and watched a bit of Squid Games. I'm on episode 3. Which you would think I'd be further along, but I'm not. But there we go, because I'm really appalling at watching the old watching series. I get so distracted so easily. I'm surprised I'm even a big old F1 fan, really, and especially if I got such a short attention span. But there we go. But yes, we are here tonight for the Russian Grand Prix here in Sochi as well. Of course, this is our second visit here for Cobalt here. And of course, last season's Grand Prix winner was Bro, albeit Brooksy was in a different time zone, wasn't he? Unfortunately, he was absolutely dominant this time last season. It was also the Alpha Tauri. Did they get a 1-2 in qualified here last season? If I'm not very much mistaken. Potentially, possibly, maybe. I'm not too sure. But Hammer Time is out to the devil, and he's up here. Hammer Time out on circuit as well, as is Picasso. But let's go through the drivers and the constructor standing, shall we, before we get into the proper action here in Alr Cobalt. And Hammer Time's lead in Italy was only cut by a few points. I think it was 7 points, wasn't it, or something like that. So Hammer Time has still got a 22-point lead over Starbus, who's second at the moment. I don't think Starbus is here tonight either. Third position is J-Dog. He is 43 points drift at the moment. J-Dog is I don't think J-Dog is in the session either at the moment, which hopefully we'll get in the not-too-distant future. Paris in 4th position, good result last time, and Iron Knight dropping down to 5th. Dukanko in 6th position. Brooksy, a performance of a lifetime last time, and wasn't there as a one-hit, I think it was his 5th Grand Prix win of his career in Cobalt. Brilliant indeed there for Brooksy. He is now on 70 points along with Casa as well. Sweet from Mighty in 8th position, 9th position there. Booty Delight completes the top 10, and he's also made a return after 2 weeks absence, mainly because he didn't know how to accept an invite. We have got Liam D on 7 points, Styles on 9 points, and Winnie on 12 points. Well, so Dave also on 14 points. So Dave's got a full quali ban tonight then, so expecting to retire in the not too distant future. I remember Sir Dave's quali ban because I find it funny. But of course he had no footage, which is why he got quali ban, albeit I think he probably may have done, or may have at least got one kind of qualifying ban of some kind after his shenanigans last week in Italy. In the constructor standings, an Alpha Tauri lead down 42 points at the moment, and once again the joint constructors, I was going to say for this week, but for last week in Russia, Alpha Tauri already had to show us above everyone else in terms of the joint constructors, because they already scored 67 points out of bronze, silver and gold so far in Russia this week. Incredible, isn't it? Haas in second position there, 42 points away at the moment, and Aston Martin are third, Alfa Romeo are fourth, and Ferrari are fifth. Williams are in sixth position, and there's a 40-point deficit between Williams and McLaren, who owns a big old deficit as well. Mercedes in eighth position, Alpine is ninth, and Red Bull completes the top 10. So that is the drivers and the constructors standing so then. So let's get on with the racing, shall we? Well, Picasso's the first driver out, and he hasn't invalidated his time so far yet. We can tell when he invalidates the time because the circuit goes red on the right-hand side of the screen. Excuse me. Picasso almost aiming for the bar there. Goodness gracious me, I know it's oh my word there. Of course, I think it's also Happy Halloween as well to everyone as well. Of course, I hope you have a very frightening night indeed. Wait, is Halloween tonight, or is it in a couple of days? I don't know. When is Halloween? Is it the 30th of October? Wait, we're on 27th today, aren't we? So I don't even know what I'm doing then. But there we go. Picasso goes faster, but Hammer Time has gone faster by almost a second and a half so far, the championship leader. Hammer Time has been pretty impeccable so far. Craig are in in second position in the Mercedes-Benz Petronas car. Of course, the big news today, not the big news really, or lack of big news, is Dukanko is facing the wrong way out of turn 14, and he's going to brush the barrier. Dukanko is there, and unfortunately that is going to damage the car, which is a big shame as well. Liam D then with the most spectacular helmet on the grid, then fantastic stuff. I think that Booty there just coming down the back straight as well. Of course, the news, or the news or not the news then, is of course the Alfa Romeo team seems like they're not going to be bought by the Andretti team. Unfortunately or fortunately, I'd love to see Andretti back on the Formula 1 grid. Of course, you haven't seen an Andretti team on the Formula 1 grid since 1993. Am I correct? The Italian Grand Prix course. That was when Michael Andretti got his in his final race for the McLaren team, got a podium as well, so he saved the best for last. There, Booty goes full fast. He's the slowest of the time runners thus far. Brooksy then he's just starting his lap as well. We have got Scooby Stew just flying down the hill. Then, so I think that Brooksy is the furthest man forward. He is indeed then, and there he is. So here is Brooks then just coming through the second part of the lap now. Yes, unfortunately the Alfa Romeo team is not going to be bought by, or fortunately or unfortunately, the Alfa Romeo team is not going to be bought by Andretti. But hopefully Andretti will enter as a new team then, so we can have 22 cars on the old grid, and that's what we want. We want 22 cars. But 20 cars is not enough in my opinion. I would like to see 26 cars on the grid then, of course. I think that's the most you can have on the Formula grid unless they change the rules. Because last time we ever had 26 cars on the Formula 1 grid was back in Monaco 1995, and goodness gracious me, and that's a very long time ago, isn't it? Ever since then we've had 24 cars, 22 cars, 20 cars, 22, 24, and then we've gone back down to 20. Brooksy out of the final turn. Brooksy goes second fast and we're a tenth behind Hammer Time. I cannot wait to see Hammer Time Brooksy lock horns in a Grand Prix. We have been deprived of that so far, haven't we? So we want to see that before the season's out, and I would like to see it here tonight, to be fair, because I've been deprived of some action as well. Of course, we're on at round 13 tonight of 20. Cressio T has gone at 6 fastest in the Aston Martin. Liam D just getting out of the way slightly there. Scooby Student coming into the final couple of corners. Well, there's 18 turns around this Russian Grand Prix circuit. It made its debut on a Formula 1 calendar back in 2014, which I think was won by Lewis Hamilton, or Sir Lewis, and it was won by in the first Grand Prix. Of course, notably the draws predicted 51 laps, so 52 laps on a set of hard tyres. So tyre erosion is erosion. What is that? All I know is that tyre wear was not a problem, was it? By that season was Jenner there on a lap at the moment. Of course, I think Jenner was on the front row of the grid this time last season, wasn't it? So Jenner be hoping for something similar. Let me go to the comments, shall we? Stephen is saying, hello guys, good evening Stephen, I hope you're having a lovely afternoon, or happy Halloween to you. Serious Richard saying, good evening all. Kakarot Goku, or Goku now, evening guys, who's missing, shame on them. Kaz saying happy Halloween, good luck drivers. Kaz has actually enlightened me that it's October the 31st, and so I got it completely wrong. I think I had 4 attempts at that, so it's not happy Halloween tonight. I'm going to revert back to I'm going to take back my happy Halloween, because actually Halloween is on the oh, it's Jenner spun around there, so that's not good for Jenner then. Jenner getting out of the way of that McLaren very quickly indeed, and it's Smith Almighty is going to just pick up the baton. But happy Halloween is actually on a Sunday then, so of course that's where I'm going to be really putting the frighteners on it. Smith Almighty is invalidating this lap, and it's a double whammy because it also invalidates the next lap as well. So that is a big shame indeed. Then here's Iron Knight then into 15 and 16 in the Haas car now. Then. Oh gosh, and that's a clout with the barrier, and I think that is going to damage the car, and he is cruising back to the pits, and that is a humongous smash there with the barrier. But I don't think he's damaged the car. It doesn't look like it. I'm surprised by that. That Haas car is stunned up very well indeed. Impressive, but unfortunately that lap looks like it's all done and dusted. Winnie just on that lap mode, and of course the white Red Bull livery. Then of course it's homage to the Honda's race win back in 1962. I'm not sure who's missing at the moment actually. I think it is J-Dog, isn't it, that's missing, because I can only see one Haas car out there. Winnie starting his lap now. We've got Serious Russian, come on Scooby lad, then we've also got good evening one and all then, and Serious Russian there greeting our viewers. Very good stuff indeed there from Serious Russian there. Winnie, who is now just coming out of turn 2A, isn't it, or 2B or something like that. And Winnie, lovely shot here as we're looking at the trademark corner, which is turn 3 as well. So Dave finally retires from the session now. It took him a while then. So Sir Dave installs and the 2 drivers out qualified. Who are going to be the other 2 drivers that is going to be unfortunately taking the walk of shame? Well, not what I suppose it's not really a walk of shame, is it? Because we don't see them, do we? Unfortunately, but well, fortunately or unfortunately, I'd love to have a driver's walk of shame when they get knocked out quality. That would be quite good for me. Of course, being a big old weakest link fan, especially I look like Anne Robinson as well on time to time, especially with my morning hair. winning there down the back straight. 2 DRS zones around this circuit. 1 on the start-finish straight, of course, and you've also got 1 on the kinky straight of between turn 12 and 13 as well. So just want to say, just realised it's J-Dog missing again. It is, isn't it? Yes, unfortunately, J-Dog not participating in the Grand Prix at the moment, and hopefully he'll get in sooner rather than later. But he's thrown the World Championship, and he's done a superlative job so far. And his chance of getting promoted to bronze is going to take a mighty hit, isn't it? But of course, real world that does come in front of ALR, doesn't it? Which, well, for most of us anyway. Yeah, so unfortunately, J-Dog is unfortunately unable to participate so far. Ducanco in 15th position now. Here comes the Alfa Romeo now into the final turn, and 18 turns on this circuit out of the final turn. Ducanco only 8 fast at the moment now, so he might be a bit disappointed by that one. Kaz just having to navigate his way through a couple of traffic there, so I hope that hasn't hindered his lap too much. There is Kaz there is enlightening us that of course Halloween is on Sunday, which is when Gold is racing as well then, so hopefully the Gold drivers don't give us a bit of a fright then. Where are we next Sunday? Well, we're actually in Singapore, aren't we, of course, for a full week of ALR action there. We go from Sunday to Wednesday next week. Gold to Cobalt. Gino goes third fastest there, and underlining his pace around this circuit, and he has got quite good pace around here, Gino, as we mentioned already on the front row here last season. But yeah, we are in Singapore, and it is the longest race of the season in terms of time next week, this week, isn't it? So I hope you've all got your snacks ready then. I hope you've got your Chewits, your Haribo, your Starburst. Starburst, I've got the wrong way around there. Starburst and all that other kind of stuff, Ben, as I'm certainly going to have to get my own energy drink out as well, of course. I'm not going to promote Red Bull, so I'm going to have Monster Energy. Wait, my saying should be, I don't know, what's it? Rockstar, it's Rockstar, I don't know, is it Rockstar? I don't know, it's got a big star on the can, I might have a bit of that then. Kaz out of the final turn, and Kaz goes 11th fastest in the Ferrari. His teammate at the moment, Casal, is currently in 11th position. He's hoping to Casal is hoping to get some points on the board here tonight. And he's been a bit pointless lately, hasn't he, Casal? Which is very unfortunate indeed. Of course, he hasn't scored now since the Hungarian Grand Prix, where he got his podium as well. He got third position in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Casal was really starting to be on the up in a Cobalt, but unfortunately he has dipped down as of late. Then Iron Knight, then of course a Grand Prix winner now as well, 2-time pole sitter, a 1-time Grand Prix winner. Iron Knight is there, and usually one driver. Picasso's got on the intermediate tyres for some reason, and so he's expecting a splash and dash perhaps then. But Iron Knight, I was expected to be right up there in the sharp end of the promotion spot, but that hasn't materialised so far, has it? There, he's going very wide over those curbs there, and that's going to really shake those cars, isn't it? And talking of shaking, here's Guna there. Of course, he's a man who likes to shake his booty from left to right, I'm sure of it. Guna then, evening everyone, good luck to Cobalt as well, and of course Scooby Stew also in the call as well. Welcome. Iron Knight across the line to go 6 fast at the moment, then Iron Knight, good stuff. Pressure T back out on circuit as well. Liam D, this is third bite to the chair, and he's invalidated 2 laps so far in the Alpine car. And of course, a very unusual airbox the Alpine car has. It's a bit of a bulbous airbox, I believe. That's a good time there from Liam D. Unfortunately, Crusher T has kind of visited the Armco barrier there on the exit of turn 5. He is out of qualifying. Unfortunately, Crusher T is, and that may also see that he is eliminated as well. That might be our third car eliminated. Brooks is on a lap at the moment, but Brooksy should be safe through. I wonder if Brooksy's just trying to throw the gauntlet down, play a bit of mind games earlier on then for the championship leader Hammer Time then. Brooksy is not out of this championship, is he? He is currently, let me get the old maths calculator right, 73 points behind Hammer Time then. Of course, we have 7 rounds to go in this championship still, so it's not all done and dusted, is it there? But Brooks there may be able to get something for his efforts this season. And of course, he was actually the favourite for the championship when we first started this season, didn't we? Of course, Hammer Time has really thrown that to one side, hasn't it? And unfortunately, Brooks also had a couple of issues as well. So I thought Red Bull was going into the wall then. Smith Almighty has just gone down fast, and Brooksy is into the 31 area. He has thrown the gauntlet down to the championship leader. He is 4/10 of a second in front of Hammer Time there. And I'm wondering then if that's a bit of mind games then for the 5-time Grand Prix winner in a Cobalt. I think it's 5 times. For some reason, it's 4 times a Cobalt winner Brooks is out. So he'll be hoping for his 5th Cobalt Grand Tour in Slowdown. But he also, if he gets pole position like for Brooksy, that would be his 10th Grand Prix. His 10th pole position in Cobalt. And I think that how many races have we done in Cobalt? We did 11 last season, we've done 12 this year, 13 this season. Hang on, I will get there in a minute. 21, 22, 23. So this is probably the 23rd, 24th race then, and he'll have 10 pole positions there. Goodness me, that's just under half the pole positions that Brooksy's ever had in Cobalt history. Fantastic to lead. Here's ZGS. He's had a renaissance, hasn't he, as of late? And ZGS had a superlative couple of races, and really in the last 5 or 6 races, been really impressive indeed. Then. Fun fact, Halloween comes from an Irish pagan holiday called Samhain, pronounced Saw, not the Saw. Oh, very good stuff. Yeah, I didn't know that. Fantastic. Keep your fun facts coming in, guys. Wikipedia, as everyone knows, I did pass college using Wikipedia, so Wikipedia doesn't tell you everything, because Gunnar has taught me something today about Sohan. Lovely stuff, man. So I didn't know about Halloween. But of course, yes, Halloween is that time of year, isn't it? Of course, we have Halloween on Sunday, which I thought was today, mainly because I saw the Snapchat of some pumpkins being carved. So that's what really people do to me. If people were dressed up as Santa tomorrow, I'd be thinking it's Christmas Day. We got ZGS then down the back straight down before coming into 13 and 14 as well. Let's go on board the Mercedes drivers. Teammate currently Craig R, who is in 6th position mode. And that's a good time there from Craig R. Really representative indeed then, of course, for the Mercedes team. And as he is now, ZGS coming into the very horrible off-camber turn 15. That's an error generator, isn't it? A horrific corner to say the very least. I'm not a fan of that at all. I think Liverpool's playing tonight, actually, as well, so I might have to, if someone can update me as ZGS replaced his teammate by a 10th for a second now to get in front of him. So ZGS 6, Craig R now in 7th as well. Anthony trying to get himself out of qualifying at 1 here. He's 2 tenths a second up then, and that is actually in the ballpark of Kaz here. So that is going to be very interesting. Scooby Shoes retired from the session now, so he's going to be sweating bullets, I think, on this one there. Paige Baguette then is in the comments as well. Good evening. Hello, Paige. And of course, Paige is flying high after that incredible performance in Italy last week, because I think that Paige got a very impressive 6th position. It was a very impressive performance indeed. Winnie has just gone 14 faster than the so Paige getting her first points of her career, and a very good performance indeed there. At the end, she was absolutely flying high, wasn't she? Fun fact: Sean still goes trick or treating to get free chocolate. I do actually. To be honest, I'm not sure. I was meant to be going to a Halloween party this week, but I'm not sure if I'm going yet because unfortunately I got to work as we're moving office. But if that's the case, I have bought a Halloween costume anyway. 5th, I'm sorry, 5th, my goodness me. I thought you got 6th. Oh, goodness gracious me. Paige got 5th, not 6th last week, and I need to get my respect saved for that. I'm meant to be going as Kaz has gone 16th fast at the moment. Now he needs to find a bit more time, needs to find 10th second, and unfortunately Scooby Stewart's going to be on the cusp now, isn't he, of being knocked out of quali here. What can Kaz do then? The checker flag has fallen now, so it's between Kaz and Scooby Stew. Who is going to be in and who is going to be out? Oh, we'll find out then. But yeah, I do have a Halloween party on Saturday, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that we can get all our office moving like Jazz done during the week. I have bought an amazing Halloween costume. I decided to go as a banana then, of course, as I am now, mainly because Charles Leclerc wore a banana on one of his streams once, and it's really stuck with me ever since then. I do love a good old banana. It's full of potassium and vitamin D. Vitamin something, I don't really know. It's the only fruit I actually eat, but that's mainly because it's the only fruit I can open. The other fruit, I don't really have a potato peeler or whatever they call it. Kaz down the back straight. Let's see what he could do then. Oh goodness me, I've completely missed all the areas. So it's having some problems with his own laptop there. As Paige wished she could race this evening, but unfortunately I don't have a wheel now. Oh goodness me, so it's in the box now then. So Paige has put her wheel away. Oh goodness me. To us, I don't know a wheel, but mainly because I'm too lazy actually. Because I would hate getting out and put away. Absolutely no way, Pedro. Yeah, I wouldn't like that. That's wrong. Simple control. Here comes Kaz then, out of the final turn. Has Kaz got through? He has got through, you know. And Scooby Stew retiring a bit too early on this session now. And unfortunately, that is him sitting on the sidelines for the remainder of his qualifying session now. And that is a shame indeed there for Scooby Stew. Scooby Stew, Crusher T, Sir Dave and Styles all out of qualifying one as we now march on to qualifying two. Lovely helmet, Kaz. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. So, Paige has moved house, and that's why. To be honest, I don't think I'll be able to have me if I have got one. Because I'll be putting it when I'll probably be tripping over when I'm coming drunk now. Because that's why you shouldn't drink, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I hope your house move is going very well, Paige. And of course, it is horrific to move house. I got a lot of sympathy because we are moving office at the moment at work, and it is an absolute. Yes, it's a backbreaker. Brooksy fast in qualifying one there. He really throws on the gauntlet there. And Cassell has gone second fastest, unbeknownst to me. Look at that, exactly the same times for P2 and P3, albeit Hammer Time should be second and Cassell third because Hammer Time set it first. That's the way it rolls normally. Styles out of qualifying. Sir Dave, Question T, and Scuba Stew, unfortunately out of qualifying, but we'll see them in the race. Don't worry about that, fans of Styles, Dave, T, or Stew. They will all be back in action, so do not go anywhere if you're fans of those guys, ladies and gentlemen. Great stuff indeed. Hopefully we're going to proceed to qualifying at 2 in just a jiffy, but I haven't seen the countdown on yet, have I? Hang on, let me get comfy. There I am. At the moment, my bed is actually, I'm sat on my bed at the moment, but I cannot move, I cannot sit in the middle because the middle is a bit knackered. It's got a PlayStation 5 box underneath at the moment to hold it up. Yeah, so I have to be very, very careful because let's just say that my rear posterior, which is a bit large and not so in charge, is kind of broke it there. So either I need to lose weight, which is not going to happen because I love food too much, or I'm going to have to buy a stronger bed, which probably will happen because that's how I solve a lot of things in life. I just throw money at stuff, but if I can't fix it, I'll just buy something that can fix my problems. Right, well, the countdown hasn't started here, has it, at the moment? So, yeah, we're going to be looking at this screen for a while, but just going back then to Cassell and Hammer Time, we look at that exactly the same time by thousands of a second and by 3 decimal places. That's absolutely incredible, isn't it? Of course, Hammer Time would be second and Cassell third in the real world of Formula 1 because of the fact that, of course, if you set your time first, that is how it rolls kind of thing. But that's because it happened like that in Jerez, didn't it, where 3 drivers got exactly the same time in the European Grand Prix of 1997, which is the final race of the season as well that season. As of course it was Jacques Villeneuve who got that first time, then Michael Schumacher got exactly the same time, and then Fredson got it as well. It was incredible, wasn't it? I think Damon Hill qualified fourth that day as well. So a really good day of qualifying that was back in 97. Now, of course, Damon Hill driving the Arrows at Yamaha. That was the last race that Yamaha ever participated in as the engine supplier in Formula 1, which is a fact that no one really cares about. But I quite like stuff like that. It's quite interesting as well because I think Arrows went on to build their own engines, didn't they, in '98? And that lovely all black Arrows car. It's an absolutely fantastic car. It really was indeed that. Arrows does have a soft. I do have a soft spot for the Arrows team because they had an absolutely beautiful livery in 2000 when they were sponsored by the Orange Phone Network, weren't they? Good stuff indeed. Liam D, I'll take 10th. It was a really bad lap there from Liam D. Then, so Liam D, I'm expecting more to say now. Liam D was one driver that I was. Which I said to keep an eye out for back in our pre-season races, pre-season in Bahrain. Unfortunately, Liam D hasn't lived up to the billing as such, but he has got a lot of pace on here at the beginning of this season. Now, it has filled off slightly, Liam D, unfortunately, but I do expect big things from Liam D towards, well, hopefully for the remainder of the season, if possible. Then, so I'm a big fan of you, Liam D, and I hope you get some good. I hope you have a strong finish to the season. So we're into qualifying 2 then. Qualifying 2, we're going to be focusing on the drivers from 11th to 15th then. And of course, because that is the drivers that are going to be knocked out of qualifying 2. But however, folks, you'll need to keep an eye on the drivers that get through to qualifying 3. Because if they get into qualifying 3, they must start on the tyres, which they set their fastest time on, whether that is the medium or the soft tyres. For some reason, you're going to have the hard tyres in qualifying 2, which is absolutely abysmal, isn't there? But which is such a shame because that would really have thrown a curveball for some drivers, wouldn't it? Hammer Time has just appeared out on circuit, and Picasso is one of the first drivers out there as well. I think that Hammer Time is almost certainly one of the first drivers out, isn't he? On the old circuit, on the old circuit, isn't he? Hammer Time is not a man to hang around, isn't he? You've seen it in terms of the championship this season. well on board then with Picasso. Picasso, a bit of very unlucky driver so far this season. He's got the pace there, but he does struggle to make it to the end of the Grand Prix. Picasso does, but he should have a lot more points in the 17 that he's accumulated so far in his 11 Grand Prix that he started this season. I think that's 11 Grand Prix. I've got to say, I'm going to have to get my old specs out. I might have to get my telescope out in a minute. Goodness me. I'm gonna have to blow up my spreadsheet to 200 if I'm not careful. Just watch Picasso then down the back straight. We've got hammer time. We've got a bit of a race going on here. Yes, hammer time wants to have clear track then. He does have clear track now. And yes, and so that's exactly what hammer time wants to do then. Of course, as I've already mentioned then, in the joint constructors this week, AlphaTauri I've read that wrong. AlphaTauri has 60 points and not 67. Ferrari have 67 so far, accumulated in the Russian Grand Prix weekend. In the Russian Grand Prix week, so good 17 there for Ferrari. But AlphaTauri, I'd say that they've had a bit of a quieter week in Russia, as far as I remember, anyway. But they're still on 60 points and they're only 7 away from potentially overtaking Ferrari as the highest scoring constructor in the Russian Grand Prix week, albeit it's been a bit of a broken up week this week, of course, with the Russian Grand Prix taking place and ALR having a week off because of the United States Grand Prix. Remember, just a quick plug then, ALR is back in action next week then for the Singapore Grand Prix, and it's the longest race of the season in terms of time, and we'll be nudging on the league races then for about 50 odd minutes or so, potentially an hour if we get safety cars or wet weather or anything like that. And so I hope you're all strapped in for the Singapore Grand Prix this week. We start on Sunday in gold, we finish on Wednesday with Cobalt, 31 laps around that magnificent circuit, and so keep an eye out for that one, ladies and gents. It's going to be a fabu kind of race then, so looking forward to that one indeed then, of course. And if you're enjoying the stream, I also recommend that you like, share and subscribe. I'm trying to become more of a professional YouTuber, or well, no, professional commentator, which is never going to happen, to be fair, is it? Because I keep forgetting to do that like, share and subscribe kind of jazz, but there we go. But unfortunately, we've lost, we're down to 382 subscribers this week, which has absolutely ruined my week so far. So much so that I've actually had to break out the old Milky Bar buttons, which is never a good sign, is it? Hammer time then is just about to complete his lap, and here he is into the final turn as well then for the AlphaTauri Honda powered car across the line of 31.8 on soft tires as well. Hammer time is. Remember what I said at the beginning of the qualifying session, if you get to the top, Brooks has left the session and that's not good at all, and we're watching Picasso crawling back out of the pits here, and oh goodness me, and that's not good at all for Brooks. He is hopefully it's just a I'm hoping that that's not going to be a major problem. The race is lovely helmet on, by the way. Craig Arr, I love that. He's matched the colours of the car with the colours of his crash helmet. Craig Arr goes second fastest on the medium tyres. The Williams car Paris there, almost close to 2 minutes there. Paris is, and so not on song with the pace yet there. That's Williams Mercedes car. Booty unfortunately has overstepped the limits of the track there, and it's been slapped with a track invalidation there. Booty has, and so he needs to sort himself out and go again. Here's car 29. It's Ducanco. Of course, when was the last round time car 29? Was it, I think it was Carvin, wasn't it? And that's one of the drivers who, of course, when they was able to choose that ever since 2014. I don't think anyone's had a car 29 since in Formula 1. I do prefer the old, a much more neater way of doing car numbers, of course, when they had the numbers of how they finished on the grid there, how they finished in the constructors from 96 to 2013. Ducanco across the line goes second fastest in the Alfa Romeo. Then, of course, Alfa Romeo, then if anyone's, of course, there's big news about Alfa Romeo being brought by Andretti, but that doesn't seem to come to light anymore, which is such a shame, really. But as I said then, it's ZJ's going second fastest, the fastest of the medium runners so far. That's a very good time to get Casal into the final part of the lap as well. Then, of course, the American Street Circuit final part of that one for car 56 in the Ferrari. His teammate Kat's doing a great job to get out of qualifying one. Good stuff indeed that Casal is aiming for maybe the front 2 rows, I would hazard a guess said, into the final turn as well. And Casal on a very unusual line to the final turn there, but it doesn't matter because he goes second fastest for the Ferrari team. And so Hammer time fastest on the soft tires. Second fastest is Paris now. Third fastest is Casal. Fourth is ZGS, and with Craig Arr in 5th position. Ducanco 6th, Liam D in 7th position. Thus far, Picasso, who's just started something. It's a long break in. It's a long run down into turn number 2, isn't it? One of the longest of the season to the first braking zone then. So that is going to be very important indeed. How important is qualifying and pole position going to be tonight then? Perhaps not as important as somewhere like Monaco, where the run to the first quarter is quite a short indeed. Is it the shortest run to the first quarter in Monaco? Possibly, potentially, but we've gone from Monaco, but of course this is one of the longest runs. Brooks is back in the session there, good 17 there for Brooks there. Of course, our most recent Grand Prix winner with 4 Grand Prix wins in a row. I'm sure he's on 5. I'm going to have to go back and check the old stat book later on tonight, but I'm sure he's on 4 already. I'm sure he's on 5 already, but there we go. But yes, 5 Grand Prix wins. But if Brooksy does get a pole position tonight, then that should be his 10th pole position of his career. But it's not looking good at the moment for Brooksy, as unfortunately he's in and out. He's not able to stay in the session at the moment, is he? Which is a bit concerning as well. Are not on the soft tires. Smithy Almighty has gone to the hard tires. And one of the Ferraris, the Kaz, are just trying to back up slightly there so he can get some room there. As of course, you do not want to be too close to the car in front there. You may get a lovely slipstream down from the drag into turn at 2, which we've seen the Ferraris doing, I think, last week or the week before in Russia, but no one else has really tried the toe, have they? And they didn't try in Italy either. Across the line, Picasso goes once again underline his speed then, and only a couple of hundreds away from his teammate Paris as well, who since coming into Cobalt has really rocked the waves, hasn't he? Here of the grid there. So, but Picasso once again showing his qualifying performance, absolutely fantastic. Brooks is back in the session on board then with the British Grand Prix winner Iron Knight in the Haas car. Of course, Haas with potentially the Russian colours on the car, potentially, but we'll skirt around that issue for that. And of course, Haas is an American-based team, so it was on board the Haas coming into turn 13 and 14 as well. There's a lot of rumours though around Mazepin's father buying this car, but buying this team. But having said that, then those rumours have settled down slightly. But I think that as soon as the winter months come in, because I think Formula One is actually finishing quite early this season, isn't it? Or is it next season's finishing early? Because they've released the calendar for next season. I'm absolutely confused now, but I'm sure Formula One is finishing quite early this season. That's when silly season will really come into effect. Iron Knight then is gone second fastest, 3/10 of a second away from Hammer Time, both on the same compounded tyres there. We're not sure if they're used tyres or if they are used tyres or brand new set of tyres. And here's Jinner, who is on the medium tyres and the Aston Martin. Then Jinner, who I'd say he had his best race in his Cobalt career this time last season, definitely his best qualifying performance. He's fifth fastest moment Jinner racer. Of course, Jinner, who on the medium tyres, isn't he? Kaz who's on a lap mode, and Smithy might is invalidated this time then, so Smithy is going to have another bite of cherry, isn't he? If he wants to get through. Remember, it's only the top 10 that gets through in qualifying 3. Then we'll go for a top 10 shootout. We'll have 10 drivers and go for pole position and for the Russian Grand Prix. Kaz out of turn 12 and he's down the back shot. I'm not sure if these King's classes turns. I don't think they do, but one is a turn, not a turn, and that is a debate that I will have until I get very tired and go to sleep tonight. A debate which no one else really cares about, but there you go. And of course, there's also a debate about driver helmets as well, and I do love a good old driver helmet. I do like when drivers keep their signature colours and all that kind of stuff, and I don't mind tweaks every now and again. I'm very much in David and Crofty's and Jensen Button's camp on that front. Then of course it's both those two like it when drivers don't change their helmets too much either. Kaz across the line, he goes then fast on the soft tyres. That is not good enough to get him through at this moment in time. Then Smithy going for an hour by the chair. Here comes Booty to light then, as he is not invalidated this time so far. He's on the soft tyres, Booty had said. Of course, can Booty contribute then to 7 more points there for the joint strengths and the tune strengths as well. But Booty's in 12th position on there, really struggling for pace at the moment. Booty is on those soft tyres. Smithy Almighty there through the signature turn 3 into turn 4. Smithy Almighty having a cracking season in the Papaya McLaren this season, isn't he? He's 15 fast at the moment. His track is very brutal on the old track limits there, isn't it? Of course, if you sneeze, you get a track invalidation. Run a bit wide, then you get a track invalidation as well, and go course corner cut and all that kind of jazz there. But yeah, I think that's probably the way it should be, though, shouldn't it? Really, of course, if you cannot keep the car within the fine limits there at the white line, then of course it's going to be out of bounds. Then it's like a football pitch. There. If you're outside the white line, then of course it's going to be a throw, isn't there? So it should be the same for Formula One as well. If you get my analogy, if you get the cut of my jib and all that kind of jazz, then Smith Almighty is not interested in my jib at the moment. All he's interested about is getting the time on the board. Then with 3.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session, split 2 has just been done. Then he's got 4 corners from home in the Papaya by McLaren now. Oh, goodness me, though. He has spun the car. He is in the wall. And he hasn't got long, has he? This is quite a long lap around here. Oh, he's reversed into the barrier there. And I'm sure that's damaged the rear part of the car as well. And he is going to have to come back into the pits. And this is that's a major problem there for the McLaren team now. They haven't got long to fix the car, have they? As he is just crawling back into the pits here. And he's got Kaz, who is just in, just behind him as well. So Kaz there hopefully won't get too affected there. Of course, there's Kaz has not set the time just yet either. Booty, who's crawling back into the pits moment. And Brooksy then, who is in at the final part of the course as well. Then car 2, here he is. Brooksy then, a 4-time Grand Prix winner in Cobalt. And he's going for his 10th pole position of his career here tonight as well. Then Brooksy then, of course, we've seen him at his absolute best there in Monza last week. Fantastic 17. He's gone fastest indeed by 6/10 of a second. Brooksy says that's a really laying the gauntlet down. Very good 17 there. Here's the Red Bull of Whitty then, as he was having a bit of a squirrel out of turn 17 there. Out of turn number 18 now. He's done a 34.5 when he has, and that's not enough to get him through to qualifying at 2 or 3 just yet, then, is it? So Whitty has got to find something in the old gas tank then and get himself through the qualifying free. Just not me itself, and that's better. Smithy having 2 goes out breaking that McLaren, and he was indeed that is caused. He tapped the front and he tapped the rear, didn't he? Goodness me then. So Smithy there, maybe he was unhappy about something that Zach probably have said then. Here's Craig R into final couple of corners as well for Craig R. 18 then. I've got a really itchy finger for some reason. Craig R full fast, and so good stuff indeed. Casal, who is on track then in signature turn number where are we? 3, it is. It is 3 indeed, isn't it? There's a good stuff. So back with winning, of course, really enjoying this white Red Bull livery. Then, of course, the livery will return back to its original form in a couple of weeks' time, of course, when we're also going to be graced with Saudi Arabia's new track then, of course, for round 22 then of the Formula 1 official championship 21 now, isn't it? Of course, for next season, ALR will have that track on the calendar along with Imola, Portimao, and one of the classic tracks. We're hoping that, I'm hoping it's going to be Turkey. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Maybe China might be on the calendar as well next season as well. So a lot of interesting developments there for the calendar next season. But it potentially will be one of the longest calendars in ALR history. Now, goodness me, it's going to be a marathon. Out of the final turn there, Vinny goes 3 tenths second quicker there. He is lowering the bar for himself at the moment, but it's not enough there. Liam D, who's using a bit of slipstream now, so that he's going to be liking that indeed. Casal is doing another lap on the medium tires, and this is going to be 3 laps on the medium tires. It's like going to be crucial in the Grand Prix there on tonight, and he goes 6 fastest. He should get through there, but that's 3 laps, 3 very competitive laps then. Dukanko is in major trouble here. Not as much trouble as Liam D at the moment, but Dukanko is in major peril here of potentially being knocked out of qualifying, which is not looking too good, is it there? Liam D, I don't think he's got enough time. Liam D's out qualifying. He hasn't got enough time now to get himself through and back around the start to go there. I'm sure that was a chocolate bar, wasn't it? It became Snickers, though, didn't it, later on in life, I think. Of course, before Mr. T then started to front Snickers. That was the last Snickers advert I remember, which is probably about a decade ago, really, so that makes me feel very old indeed. I don't really watch adverts too much these days because, of course, Netflix and all the streaming services, and I also live on YouTube as well. Really, I've been really listening to, what's it called, ASMR or something like that, which is really like nice sounds kind of thing. Which really puts you to sleep kind of thing. I've some great 17 there. I've been watching some Lego movies, some Lego ones lately. They're pretty cool. I think it was Star Wars. It was what's his name? The Mandalorian's spaceship. It shows how much of it. I'm supposed to be a nerd, but I'm really not sometimes. I think it's the pressure of talking to you all you guys there. But there's a booth like that, get a bit squirty on the over here. But it's he was building the Mandalorian's spaceship, and he was there for 3 hours. And I watched the whole 3 hours. I think that's sleep at all. And so basically that was kind of that really just didn't have a all, did it? Well, there we go. But what can we do? Booty there, 10th for a second. That was the inside of my very exciting life there, wasn't it? Booty going a bit wide there, and it's really compromised the entry into turn 14 there, so that's not good at all for Booty. He needs to get his Booty a move on as well then, because I think that he might be out qualifying here. Strong for pace tonight, Booty, as I've mentioned that already, so that is a bit of a shame. And Ross G then, go Craig, then Craig currently in 4th position, and that's a really good time there from Pragar as well. What about Booty? I don't think it's going to be a great time then for Booty. It's 11 fastest, so he's 2/10 of a second away then. It's not enough to knock Dukanko out. And that's a really good final time there from Booty. Really impressive indeed. Kaz, I think, is invalidated this time, so he might be, that might be his position set in stone, so to speak then. So he's the highest is going to be 13th, the lowest is going to be is 14th as well. It's Serious Russia saying the game sounds louder than usual. Oh goodness me, let me put my headset down. I had it above my ear. I haven't even used this Streamlabs for quite a while, and so it's probably reset itself. To be fair, I do need to turn the game audio down slightly. As Smith Almighty comes across the line there, and he goes. Where does he go? I do not know. I'm potent. I didn't even know it. Great stuff indeed. I'm not even sure if. Hang on, let me turn that down a bit then. So there we go. We'll try that, shall we? Good stuff. So hopefully we can hear me now. Perhaps you would like me to turn the game audio up a bit louder than perhaps said. Anyway, yes. So Alr qualified. Brooksy there's fast in qualifying too as well. Now good stuff there for. Good stuff indeed there for Brooksy. So that's 2 out of 2 so far. But we're concentrating on the bottom 5 drivers. Smith Almighty did get through in the qualifying 3 by the skin of the nose, kind of the Papaya McLaren. Winning out of qualifying in 15th position. Kaz in 14th position there. But Smith, Sirius Rusham loves it now. He can hear me. My beautiful succulent toads there in 13th position is Liam D. 12th position is Booty Delight. 11th position is Dukanko. Succulent, or do I mean, I don't know, angel-like, yeah, I don't know, a beauty, my beautiful voice, then, my old farmer voice, then, which I'll probably belong in the old pig pens, really, rolling around and all that kind of stuff. Right then, so we're on to getting into qualifying 3 then, so those drivers there, we've got 4 drivers on the soft tires, 5 drivers on the soft tires, I should say, 5 drivers on the medium tires, that is split in half then, so who is going to be right there for the Grand Prix coming up in just a jiffy? Well, I have no idea indeed, because whatever strategy I think is right, it is usually wrong then. So do not quote me on any strategy. So I don't think anyone will ever listen to me strategy calls, because I feel I got one completely wrong in one of the early races earlier on this season. Right, qualifying 3 then, and let's get going, shall we? Of course, form booked this season in qualifying. Jitters had 2 pole positions. Can he get a third here tonight? And Starbust had 2 pole positions there. He won't get a third because he's not here. We have also got Iron Knight with a pole position. And then Iron Knight then is, of course, could potentially get a second tonight. And Hammer Tom hoping to get his second pole position as well. Paris said also on the pole position, as is Dukanko as well. But Dukanko is going to be sitting in 11th position, unfortunately. And 4 pole positions then is Brookston, aiming to make it 5 pole positions this season, 10 pole positions in his career. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Brooksy, isn't it? As you can probably tell, I'm a big fan of Brooksy, but I'm a big fan of all 2019 drivers here tonight then. Not sure, but someone needs to replace that light bulb on CGS's garage there, because it's flickering a bit. So so I think that someone needs to maybe get up there and change the light bulb. And maybe how many Mercedes mechanics can change a light bulb? Well, none of them at the moment, as they have not. They need to change that indeed. Then goodness gracious me, then. But their drivers don't need to change at all, do they? As they are absolutely on fine form at the moment, and they both CGS and Craig are looking so strong here tonight in qualifying. It's great to see. And now the Mercedes mechanics are about to release Craig R. ZGS there is not really interested in coming out at all. As a J-Dog then, even though sorry I can't be there tonight again, then for J-Dog, do not worry about that, sir. Then of course I just do not listen to the beginning of the street there, where I was absolutely furious with you, J-Dog. Of course I'm joking, but yes, of course real life then is a lot more important than this thing that we're doing then for 2 hours tonight then. But yeah, hopefully we'll see J-Dog back in action in the Singapore Grand Prix in 8 weeks time then. We have, as Serious Russia said, robbness of my beautiful voice then. We have also got Serious Russia said night for pole position then. And of course, you can't screw a Serious Russian then, can you? But of course, if Arnold doesn't get pole position, we'll have to blame him, won't we? Of course, Serious Russian then, the head honcho with the Haas team, of course, for the joint constructors there. So of course, Haas have got quite a strong team, haven't they? Apart from that one guy who drives the silver for the Haas team, and it's not Serious Mushroom. There's another guy who begins with an F. or begins with a P, depending on what you like to call him. So just watching Hamilton and just about to start his lap there. Of course, I'm joking about Farfar. Of course, Farfar, a multiple Grand Prix winner in gold and a Grand Prix winner in silver as well. He's got, and I'm sure he's a Grand Prix winner in bronze as well, which I think I've failed to mention quite a lot of times, have I? I need to check that, but I'm sure he's a Grand Prix winner in bronze. I'm gonna have to have a look at that, ain't I? Seriously, saying board. I want to race him, but Alr made me take a holiday. Then, got yellow flags, and it's one of the Williams. Oh, it's Picasso who's really shedded some weight there off the Williams car. Unfortunately, though, that weight helps you turn the car, and unfortunately for Picasso, he's going to have to come back in the pits. So that's his first run done and dusted there, and Picasso's going to be kicking himself. Oh, Picasso, he's so quick, isn't he? But unfortunately, he does seem to hit something hard from time to time, doesn't he? And it really ruins his event, and I think that may cost him majorly later on. Then Hammer Time are on board with him now. Then Hammer Time's only got a Grand Prix, he's only got one pole position to his name tonight, as there, so he's coming into turn 7 and 8 as well. Do not go too much on that curve, Ben, because you will fly in the air, and I'm sure that someone flew into the air in bronze. Wasn't it, or was it gold? I think it was gold, wasn't it? Because bronze and silver had a absolutely spotless race, didn't they? On last Monday and Tuesday, didn't they? No safety cars at all for those two leagues there. But gold had a lot of safety cars. I think they had 4 or 5, didn't they, in the end? Emerson getting his first Grand Prix win for a very long time. And of course, in Italy last week, Brooks also getting his first Grand Prix win since Austria as well. So great stuff indeed there. Of course, Italy was quite a show for Cobalt last week, wasn't it? So, yes, hopefully we can have a bit same amount of showing, but hopefully less in terms of incidents there. Hammer Time out of the final turn. Hammer Time goes fast there, 31.9 then. That looks to be his limit there tonight then for Hammer Time, because he's done a 31.9 then for a couple of times tonight. Into the final turn there comes Jinner as well. Look at that, straddling the curb there. Jinner was there. Goodness me, I think his car is off his wheels there slightly. And Jinner once again underlining his pace there in tonight's event. Good stuff indeed. Smithfield Mighty going in third fastest in the McLaren. Lovely stuff indeed. Here comes Casal. Casal, another driver who potentially I think it could be in this shout for pole position across the line, and Casal goes second fastest, 10th for a second away then. What about Brooksy? And Brooksy, of course, has got monopoly on pole position in Cobalt since his career started, but that is not a lap that I was expecting there for Brooksy. He is currently 5th fastest. Craig R. The final turn, he's 4th fastest. Good stuff indeed there. I know the feeling guts I couldn't make it tonight. Also potentially away from work next week too. After I should be there every week until the end then from J-Dog then. I do sympathise with you, J-Dog, there, because unfortunately work is, I've got the same problem with work as well at the moment. They are really running me ragged there. Unless I take my setup to the hotel. Oh goodness me, where have you gone to J-Dog then? I hope it's somewhere nice. Possibly not Gloucester, of course. What am I doing? Of course, Gloucester's an absolutely beautiful village, town, city. Is it? As I can see the cathedral as soon as I look out me window then. Not sure what, it's not the window that I'm sat in now at the moment. Says Mushroom, work and family and Mushroom comes first, mate. I absolutely agree with that wholeheartedly indeed. Then yes, indeed, that is the most important part in life, Ben. All three of those categories that Mushroom said. Then, and I'd also say food as well. The final turn then, and here comes Paris and across the line. Let's go on board now with Paris. And he's going to take us on a lap then around the Russian Grand Prix circuit. DRS then on this start finish straight, albeit it's not a start finish straight anymore. There's a bit of a kink now before we break down into turn 2, drop it down from 8th gear to 4th gear to 3rd gear before getting back on the power then through turn 2B then through the signature turn 3. Then of course you can take multiple lines through. That's what's so brilliant about the turn 3 then. You can see that Paris there was hovering in the middle of the track there before tying up on the entry there for the apex of the final turn. Fantastic. Turn 4, not really much to it then. Turn 5, and again a bit of a 90-degree right angle into turn 7 as well, and as you can see hugging the apex. Lovely stuff indeed there. Now then into 8, that is, you can see that, and this is quite a difficult corner then, but he doesn't want to drag the car, doesn't want to let the car drag out too wide, doesn't it? Otherwise you'll get a track invalidation. And now on the back straight as well, DRS right in the middle. Didn't hear the beat there. It was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it, for Paris? I didn't remember the beep. He knew where the DRS line was. It was instinct there for Paris, breaking down into fourth gear, third gear, about 60 miles an hour. Then, and now going in this part of the circuit, a bit horrible part of the circuit, I would say this one is there. Off camber 14 and 50 as well as an error generator there for the Williams car. And now into 60 as well, and that looks very planted there through 16 then. Maybe a bit too planted there, because I think Paris was expecting a bit of oversteer there. And of course the car is pulling in the wrong direction. Into 18 and out of final turn. That's a great lap from Paris. Goes third fastest there. A 10th of a second away from Cassel. Lovely lap there, by the way. Thank you very much indeed, Paris. That was an absolute joy to look over, wasn't it? Fantastic. Here's his teammate now flying past, as I said, Picasso. Unfortunately hit the wall quite hard a minute ago, didn't he? So Picasso back out on the track as well. And now accelerating out of turn 2B then. Now on to turn 3 then. As you can see, there's cars in front of us here. It is Ginner. Oh, I think Ginner's now got out of the way, and there's also a Williams in front of us as well. Is that Williams there? I'm wondering if that Williams there, and I think Picasso might be a bit unhappy about that. That is, I'm wondering if the dirty air may have cost him slightly there for Ginner, as Ginner's on the same tyres that he was on earlier on there. And now that's his teammate Paris there, who is still going for it, is he? I think he is still going for it, Paris. Let's just take a look then. I'm not sure if he is there, but he's harvesting by the looks of things. He's not using much battery here, but he has DRS then as well. And so yes, I think he is still going for it. But Picasso may not be too fond of this, and it looks like that the Williams cars are kind of tripping over each other here. Then maybe they're doing a bit of slipstream. They are indeed then. So yes, they are indeed then. So they think that. So Paris really helping his team out there. There is Reader giving Paris all kinds of a jip. Oh, but Picasso's off the circuit there. Really overcorrecting the car. Goodness me, and the car is snaking around, and those tyres don't look too happy at all, do they? As goodness gracious me, 3 minutes ago in the session, and Ginner coming back into the pits, and he's full fast money. He's on the second row of the grid. That's a good effort indeed there for Ginner, the Aston Martin car. Picasso, even with that mistake out of 14 and into 15, still on the third row of the grid there. So that shows the pace of that to Williams car. Paris going across the line and going for another bite of cherry. We're just going to stick with Iron Knight then, who is now going for broke then. This may be his final shot then, his last chance then. Ooh. Just trapped me here. That quite well. That was quite painful. Yellow flag then in turn 2 then, as the Williams cars are quite close to each other again now. I'm not sure if they're trying to do a bit of towing through turn 3. I'm not sure how much that worked really. I know it's almost flat out turn 3, but that surely is going to unsettle the car, I would say then. But both Williams is trying something different now, which we quite like to see, but it must be working now. There's me, why am I questioning the RFR at all? I shouldn't be at all, because third and fifth at the moment is pretty good going so far for the Williams team now. So Hammer Time has to come on the pitch there. No, it's Cassel either. Brooksy has emerged out of the garage, and he is on the lap now. We got ZJS also on the lap. He has just started his lap. We're going to stick with Iron Knight for the time being then, and he is coming into 15 and 16, and you can see the aerials just in front there. Of course, it's in your line of sight there, but you just like see past them. We're same with the Halo as well. Of course, really impressive indeed. So as Mushroom is saying, come on, come on, Knight lad. Then out of the final turn. Then Iron Knight's invalidated his time. He's also spun. He's in the wall, and now is in for Iron Knight. That's going to be 10th on the grid there. And oh goodness me, car 66 there in the wall. Then and Iron Knight there is going to qualify 10th on the grid. What a shame now for Iron Knight. He's going to be a bit disappointed. Then Paris there, who got 3/10 of a second improvement there, but unfortunately he's invalidated his time. So the Williams driver is going to have to find that time, but this time on a bona fide lap there. ZGS was on a lap, and he's just been left for session there. He's just been kicked out and gone, and that's harsh there for ZGS then. And Iron Knight and ZGS are going to be starting on row 5 then, so it's a top 8 shootout. And Brooksy's on pole position there by almost a second there. That is incredible lap there from the Alfa Romeo driver. Absolutely stellar stuff indeed then. That's it. He's going for his 5th pole position of his career, as Hammer Time has not emerged out. He has now, but goodness me, he's only got 30 seconds there to get his keister move on here. Paris is on a lap then, and he's a 10th of a second down the first sector. Sir, even everyone from Sir Tommy, called Sir Tommy, the silver championship leader there, and he is one step away then from making it into gold. Then he is very close to making it into gold as well. We need to get the calculator out for next Monday, I think. Then I think he won't be. I don't think he can confirm it in Russia. I'm sure that he can confirm it in the earliest he can confirm it. I think is in Japan or United States. I think. Don't quote me on that. Paris in Paris in the final part of the lap then, and let's see what he did. Of course, he is going to be used quite a lot of laps on these tires. This is his 4th times run now on these soft tires at Paris, so he would like some fresh boots there. It looks like he is slowed down here though. Paris there is slowing down. He's going for one more go, one more bite of the cherry. What can he do? What has he got him? What has he got on the car then? Alfonso and Paris is going for it now. It's all or nothing then for the Williams driver. Cassau in turn 3. Brooksy's invalidated this time. Iron Knight crawling back into the pits. Brooksy, is he going? The checker flag has fallen. I'm sure. Yes, I think Iron Knight has made a huge mistake here, and Brooksy, I think, has finished as well. Yes, I'm sure that is the mistake. Then so Hammer Time, I think, has misjudged the timing here, and it's only Cassau, Paris, and Jinner on a lap then. Oh my golly gosh then. So Brooksy on pole position then for the 5th time at the moment. Who can stop him then? And as a search say, we can't confirm it we can't confirm in Russia show because we've done it. Indeed, that's a very valid point. Then I should say that he can't confirm it in Singapore, but he can confirm it in maybe in did I say Japan or US? I've worked it out not too long ago, but of course that is working it out there with a lot of dominoes. I love dominoes. I love dominoes right now, and that means that a lot of dominoes must fall into place though for young Tommy. Alafon turn for Jenner's on the front row again. He's repeating the heroics from last season. Jenner has a magnificent time there. And here comes Cassau. Cassau is in the ballpark. Hammer Time might be 4th on the grid then. Alafon turn. He is 4th on the grid then as well. If I can say turn right, that'd be fantastic. But it's Brooksy on pole position now for the Russian Grand Prix. Absolutely magnificent stuff there from Brooksy. That's his 10th pole position of his career. His 5th pole position of the season as well. The Brooksy is becoming a bona fide legend, isn't he, in Cobalt in terms of qualifying trim. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Really well done there for really well done indeed there for Brooksy. Look at that then, and of course he's the first driver in the history of Cobalt to be in double figures of pole position starts. Brilliant stuff indeed there. And now can he convert it into a Grand Prix win? Think it's possible in USA, as Sir Tommy is saying. And yes, so I was about right then, so I'm happy with that. And yes, I'll give myself a self high five. I did work it out when I couldn't sleep one night. We got Brooksy then, who's on pole position, and brilliant stuff indeed there. As Paige forgets saying, at least Jenner won't have me to DNF him this week then. Goodness gracious me now. But Jenner, Jenner's now on the front row of the grid then, so he's going to be overjoyed with this result, isn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed. So everyone's saying some were so close from invalidating the laps there. Very much pinpointing driving and accuracy to the absolute limit and beyond. Mega stuff indeed then. As that is the end of qualifying, and Brooksy topped all 3 time qualifying session here tonight. Great stuff, Fed. As oh my goodness me, then it's I have liked our tweet. Great stuff. Of course, that's a lovely little cheeky plug as well. Of course, if you want to follow ALR on the old Twitter sphere, I think it's ALR_Esports. And if you want to do it on the old Instagram as well, brilliant stuff indeed. Give us a like, share, subscribe, follow, and all that kind of jazz. Brooksy on pole position by 6 tenths of a second. That is mammoth time, isn't it, in terms of league racing there? Brooksy absolutely loving it in Brooksy, loving it in the Cobalt. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Sir Tommy Nanto, which I was reading his comment, and that's why I think that's why I got myself tripped up there. Sir Tommy saying that no need to rush anything. No, I got to enjoy my last 3 races in silver. And so much saying no, get out. Kaz saying good luck with drivers indeed. Good stuff indeed there for Kaz, of course, who is in the Ferrari as well, hoping to get some more points in for the Scuderia team here tonight. And goodness gracious me, then look at that. Then it's gone from beautiful sunshine to very murky overhead here in Sochi. Of course, I think that we're going to St. Petersburg is for the word that I've heard on the street then going in 2023, I think, isn't it? So which would be quite cool, wouldn't it? Because I'm not a fan of Sochi, unfortunately. Brooksy is asked a very important question. Is it going to allow him to finish? So, of course, Brooksy, who was absolutely dominant this time last season here, wasn't he? Brooksy was fantastic performance indeed. Unfortunately, though, that he was in a different session there, which meant that his win didn't stand, unfortunately. That might be where I've got his 5th win from, actually. But hopefully Brooksy can get his 2nd Grand Prix win there and that would really elevate him at the championship once again, wouldn't it? So Brooksy will be aiming for that. And if he does get a win today, he will not be too far off the 100-point mark as well. And so that's surely the aim there for the pole sitter here tonight. Of course, Brooksy making history tonight, being the first driver to hit 10 pole positions in Cobalt, and he is he's the most successful qualifier in all of Cobalt history so far. Lovely stuff indeed then. Right, let's get on with the race, shall we? And we got 19 cars then around Russia, and let's go through the grid then from start to back. And here we go. Then. So we got a lot of soft and medium runners out there. Goodness me, it's almost split down the middle. We do have one driver who is who's really flying his own flag, and that is the Liam D flag. He is on the hard tires, Liam D is, and so he's going to go very, very far into the very far into the Grand Prix as well. Then it's especially with singing a tune to Scooby Stew, especially to Stew. We got Brooksy then on soft tires. Jinner is on the medium tires, and Casal on the medium tires as well. Hammer Time is on the soft. He's better position there, but this is not the this is a place there where potentially you could do a slipstream down into turn 2. So the second row, maybe the best place row. We'll see. Fifth position is Paris there with 6th position is Picasso. Both Williams drivers, strong performance there on medium tires there. It's an all soft 7th row with Carragher and Smithy Almighty on the soft tires. ZGS in 9th position, R9 in 10th position there. Unfortunately, ZGS in R9 there got robbed of a potential final shot in qualifying, unfortunately. 11th position is Ducanco. He is on fresh medium tires. Is that going to play a part in today's Grand Prix? It will, because the tires are on the car. In 12th position is Booty on the soft tires. Liam D, as we mentioned already, on the hard tires. And 13th position is Kaz. 15th is Winnie on medium tires. Scooby Stew in 16th on medium tires. Crustier T is in 17th position on the medium tires. Sir Dave has gone attacking. He's 18th on the soft tires. 19th position is Stars on the medium tires as well. Stars and Sir Dave came the blows at this now. Sir Dave had damage on the old career crash structure there, didn't he? And unfortunately, Stars was collateral damage there, I think, which is a big shame. Now, J-Dog has joined the session there, so he might be able to start at 20th on the grid, actually, then. So I wonder if J-Dog would be able to start 20th on the grid then, and so take part in this race after all, then. So that'll be good stuff indeed, then. Yeah, serious rush to say that I have too many favourites in this league. It feels like I am cheating now. And they're a very good bunch of guys, Cobalt, isn't they? Really, because there's not really much argument in Cobalt. Say, I hope that I haven't put the jinx on it. I will be very much. I will not be in Gurman's on Gurman's Christmas card list, or in his favourite book body on this one. So I hope that I'm not going to put the heebie-jeebies on that one. We're now getting ready for the start of the race. I think that J-Dog might have joined a bit too late, unfortunately, because I can't see his car. So J-Dog, unfortunately, may not start this Grand Prix after all. Startles at 19th on the grid there. He is at 19 out of 19 there. And that Aston Martin crushed your T then. Is goodness me, he's got a bit of hydraulics on there. Right then, we got 5 sets of lights to go on then. Whether we'll be racing in Russia. Not yet, though, of course. And we're on board the pole session then. And look at this, he's in neutral at the moment then. Just he's watching the steering wheel. He's watching those lights then. Even though the lights have gone out then. And we will be going soon, I hope. But I think we stalled a bit, and hopefully we are just waiting for something to materialise. We go, and we are go for the Russian Grand Prix, and Brooksy gets the absolute perfect start. Jitter in second position there, but remember they do have a slipstream there. Don't the advantage down into turn 1, and there is. They've already picked up the slipstream there, and here's Jitter. He's having a look. Hammer Time's up the third already. Hammer Time's up in the second there, but Jitter slamming the door shut there. Booty has got a 5-second penalty. That's on the track, my good sir. And going round at turn 3, and Hammer Time is down with the second position. He gets past Jitter. He's got past 2 cars already in this race. Who's 17th then is Picasso in 6th position. R9 is down with his 7th position. CGS is in a very terrible start there for Craigar. He's down 2 positions. I say terrible. He's down 2 positions. And too bad there. Ducanco is having a 10th position there. Smithy Almighty in 11th there. Sir Davis got up 6th position. That's a McLaren and Scooby Stew who spun around there at the back of the field. Then Sir Davis taking off like a scored cat. He's up in 12th there. Fantastic there for Sir Dave. Really good stuff then. Scooby Stew there just recovered him, and Brooksy leads second position there. We got a problem there from Picasso. Picasso's in trouble, and he has damaged the car, and Picasso dropping right down to the back of the grid there. That is such a shame there. Brooksy leads. Hammer Time in second position there. Jinner in third, and Jinner is looking very strong at the moment, isn't he there? But of course, this is very early days, and Paris in third position there. I think the Paris could potentially be higher up the grid than that. He did have a bit of a disappointing qualifying there. Sir Dave having a look on the inside. Sir Dave having is absolutely sensational stuff. Fantastic stuff indeed there for Sir Dave. Really good stuff, and he's had a look on the inside. Sir Dave is using those soft tires to absolute perfection there. Oh, goodness me, and he's slamming the door shut on the McLaren's nose cone. My golly gosh, there, brutal stuff there from Sir Dave. Oh, and they're going to be standing in the doorway for Sir Dave again. My golly gosh, the lap one completed, and the gap is 8 tenths per second. And Brooksy is set the fast up the race. That's a very good start indeed. The Alfa Romeo of Ducanco is going to be under major power now, and Sir Dave is now up to 9th position. He's gone up 9 positions in the matter of one lap here. Sir Dave has that is absolutely sensational stuff there from Sir Dave. And really putting that qualifying ban to one side, and he was very much chomping at the bit, wasn't he, Sir Davis? Booty's also got past Kazar. Can he slow the car down? He can indeed. Well, my goodness me, that very good start indeed there for these drivers. That absolutely good stuff. Picasso unfortunately damaged the car, and also you've also got Scuba Stew who unfortunately had unfortunately spun the car earlier on in this race as well. So I'm getting a phone call off I'm going to have to ignore that for a minute. So Brooksy leads by a second. He's already out of DRS range already from Ginner. Really impressive start indeed there for Brooksy. Hammer time in second, and he's got up a position then already. But look at this, as the gap's now starting to open quite nicely then. So we got Winnie who is just crushed the Tina. It looks like he just dropped down a position. We're on board then with Stars. There's a problem then for one of the cars at the back of the field, and I think that is Picasso, unfortunately dropping down the order. He's down in 90th position. He's on the hard tires. Picasso will be hoping for a safety car, same car. Remember, Slayer was very much in no man's land because there was no safety car, was it, in that silver on a Monday night then. But Styles there would like to get past Crusher T as quickly as possible. We're on board the Red Bull car. And I think the Red Bull got the least amount of points so far in the joint constructors over the past couple of days. Brooks is just pulling away the winner, isn't he? Goodness gracious me, he is just absolutely firing on all cylinders. So is Liam D, who's having a look on the inside of Styles at the moment, but no dice, and DRS has now been enabled there, of course. So at the end of this lap, then the DRS will be enabled there. But Paris, does he need DRS? He doesn't, does he? Because he is now up the inside, passes Casal. Job's a good one there for Paris, but Casal is just going to try and go back up and under. Then there's Iron Knight, who's also in the facility as well, and is Iron Knight going to have a lunch? No, but Casal is having a look then, but no dice, and he's too far back at the moment. And we have also got the Mercedes is now on the prow as well, as Casal just trying to annoy Paris there. Paris there, I think, is a very experienced customer, isn't he, in league racing. He is not in league Grand Prix racing. He is not going to be deterred, is he, by Casal weaving this way and that way. But now this queue of cars is really starting to give Mercedes some interest in this Grand Prix, aren't they? So good stuff indeed there for the two Mercedes as well. ZGS and Craig are lovely stuff, and Scuba Stew is getting himself back up the order as well. He's past the hard shot at Liam D, who's down in 18th at the moment then. Hard tires, I wonder if they're struggling to make up a few positions there. DRS is now available now. Sir Davis just lost out to Ducanca. Sir Davis losing positions. Hand over fist. He's having a look up the inside then, Sir Davis, but no dice. And Booty's also in the facility as well. I think Booty has got a 5-second penalty then for corner cutting at turn number 1 then, or turn 2 I should say. As unfortunately then, you're not allowed to do that, Booty there. So I think he lost his trap map, didn't he, in the cockpit. Right then, so we're going to have DRS on the back straight, on the finish straight. This is where it's going to be very imperative now, isn't it? But Brooks is almost 2 seconds in front now. He's not going to be too concerned about the DRS at the moment. Hammer time dropping back then in second position. Ginner in third, then Paris in fourth, and they're starting to spread out quite nicely now, aren't they? The top four. I think Paris would like to get away from Kalasani. He has done quite well so far, but Booty's having a look on the inside of Sir David. He's going up the inside, but no dice at the moment. We've also got Winnie going at the inside of Kaz, and Winnie now up into 13th position, and Kaz dropped down to 14th. Liam D in the pits, so I think Liam D has had some issues, has he? He has indeed. He's had to change the nose cone on the Alpine car, so we've had two drivers in the pits having to change the front wing there, unfortunately. Iron Knight back on board now with Iron Knight then, and here he is in the heart of the midfield at the moment. What I say, the upper heart of the midfield. That, goodness me, can you have two hearts? I don't know. Cassal's got a 3-second penalty. Picasso is in. He's out of race then. And of course, you do get points deduction if you do retire more than once in the Oda pit lane now, unfortunately for Picasso. And that is such a shame indeed there, because Picasso once again showed he's got so much speed in qualifying, but the races there, he just does he struggles, doesn't he? Unfortunately, Picasso. Castle. Now, it's such a shame now. Whether he had contact, I do not know. Booty has just gone up and past Sir Dave and moved up into an 11th position there. Booty is having a much better time of it in the race then. Good 17 there for Booty. Of course, he does have a 5-second penalty then, so that may tie him down later on then. So he has to stop in the box then, and the mechanics cannot touch the car for 5 seconds then, so they have to wait. And of course, they do it before because they do the 5 second before then because of course is it otherwise doing it afterwards may cause may get an advantage there, won't they? But rather than doing it before, I'm not sure why, but that was just the rule anyway. I think I'm sure that is anyway, because I'm sure that someone asked one of the commentators on Sky about it. We've just got Iron Knight then, who couldn't make it stick on the DRS backs on the DRS start finish straight. I wonder if Cassal's got a slippery Ferrari underneath him then, but Iron Knight may be able to catch him unaware slightly. Smithy Almighty trying to go on the inside of Dukanko there. Dukanko struggling for pace here tonight, isn't there? He's down in 9th position. Dukanko is there. He's usually a bit higher up than that, but he's Smithy Almighty down. Look up the inside. That's going to be a pinch point. His contact there, and Smithy Almighty has spun the car and having a look there on turn 5. Sir David has just got a bit wide there. Smithy Almighty a lovely pirouette there to get himself back in the race, but unfortunately there is a very difficult to overtake here in Russia. So there's a lot of pinch points there. There's a lot of 90-degree lefts, 90-degree rights in this one, so you've got to very much make your move stick quite early on then. Sector 2, yellow flag then. McLaren is Smithy Almighty again. We do see him when drivers is up the inside. There goes Craig Ardham. I wonder if that was a bit of orchestrating manoeuvre in there for the Mercedes team. As Paris has lost out to Ginner. Ginner is now in a third position, I should say. Great battling here then between these drivers, and fantastic. But Mercedes there might have been after you, sir, then, as I think Craig Ardham's on the softer tyres, and that's very good teamwork indeed. Teamwork makes the dream works, don't they? The final turn then. And so now then we're back on board the soft car of Iron Knight, the medium tyres for the drivers in front of him. Iron Knight would probably like to get past these drivers quite early, would like to go past these guys earlier on than this. And it's look at this up the end, outside there goes Paris. There's Jenner making contact. There's wheel to wheel action there, and we got Smithy Almighty in the pits there. So it looks like that last spin there's really hurt him. I was saying, and you do see a lot of drivers regularly after spinning once, and they spin they spin again there almost instantly, don't it? Because the tyres are screaming hot, aren't they, underneath the car. Scooby Shoes got a 3-second penalty there. The tyres are screaming hot then in there. You have to make sure you have to cool those tyres down, don't you? Otherwise, the judge is getting a penalty as well. Goodness me, penalty's now starting to rain in this circuit there. So you have to make sure that the tyres are cooled down. Ginner, did he touch the barrier there? I think he might have missed that one there as I was just looking down on the dashboard of Iron Knight for some reason. I don't know why, I just love watching the circles. It's fantastic. But unfortunately, Ginner is going to be feeling the heat of the Ferrari and the Haas car as well as the two Ferrari-powered cars. And it's having a look on the outside. Then it's turn 13. I think that is not going to work, though, is it? But Ginner's passed. Oh my goodness me, Ginner's passed there, and he's gone right off the circuit now. And I think that I'm not sure if that's a day lane, a dollar short. I was focusing on the wrong cars there, and as EGS has got past Ginner as well, and unfortunately oh my goodness me, I'm not really too sure what happened there, but Paris so Ginner's in the pits, so Ginner has got some issues, and this is an early stop for the medium tyres, so he must have damage in the Aston Martin car. Oh, poor Ginner then, and I'm not sure if that was his own making or whatnot, but now Iron Knight has been freed up into 4th position now. Good stuff from down from Iron Knight. He needs to now really start to stretch those legs, and Paris is not having any of it, though, is he? Looking at this, they try to break the slipstream, going down into turn 2. Ginner in the pits, and he's on the hard tyres, and it's hard tyres in 20 laps. I think they should be okay. Where the hard tyres are going to perform well in this race or not, I do not know. I haven't said that. Remember that as Boots, has got no penalty. Thank goodness me, he's racking them up at the moment. But of course, remember Emerson, and I'm sure someone else in silver said the same thing about the hard tyre. The soft tyres were absolutely appalling, weren't they? And perhaps the hard tyre is a better race compound of tyre. Oh, there's fighting there. There's fighting. And Serious Rush was saying it was. There was a lot of fighting there down at the down in turn 13 and 14. Casal looks like he's quicker than Iron Knight, but now one of the soft shod runners are now starting to struggle on those soft tyres. And we've done 7 laps in the Grand Prix, and this pace is red hot around Sochi here tonight. And so there's no one that's really taking it easy. Now then, here comes Casal. He's going to have a look at the course. This straight is anything but straight. The back straight is there, which makes it a bit more difficult to overtake, I would say, because it's probably easier to overtake in a straight line rather than a curve straight then. Of course, there isn't really a curve straight at all, is it? So I've really contradicted myself twice. Scooby Stew, who is now on the back of Crustier T, and they are down the back straight as well. I've got yellow flags as Jinner is crawling, as having issues, and it's a virtual safety car. Unfortunately, Kaz is and Crustier T, who's had some issues there as well. And Iron Hammer Time in the pit said this might be a absolutely incredible. I said that rubbish all. Into the pit, so that was a serious Russia there, giving me some jip. So Iron Hammer Time coming in and out of the pits now. So this might be a very shrewd strategy call here. Now as he comes out of the pits now. Oh, serious Russia saying that he said that the tires are rubbish, didn't he? The soft tires there. So Hammer Time coming in the pit, so he's going to be out in 12th position now, but he has done his stop under the virtual safety car. And of course, when you're in the pit lane, you do not have to adhere to the pit limiter. You have to adhere to the pit limiter. You do not have to adhere to the Delta, the safety car Delta, which the other drivers on the track will have to follow, of course. Then, so Brooksy may lose his Grand Prix lead here, depending on how long he's going to stay out then here in this race. It's cool temperatures as well tonight, so the tires may be able to stick at it more than usual. Then top 10 is looking like this. Is Jinner coming out of the pits? Sorry, he's still in the pits. Now it's Aston Martin having to take two to pit twice in a row there. Unfortunately for the Aston Martin team. One retirement so far. Picasso out of the Grand Prix earlier on this race, and after having a good qualifying, but unfortunately the race has not gone too well. Booty's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. Again, a bit too overzealous there. We're just watching ZGS and having a look on the inside. ZGS has got past Craig Harris, having a look up the inside. He is through, and the Ferrari's been forced off there, and ZGS is through, passes Casal. Robust attack there from ZGS, and away he goes there. So Brooksy has stayed out there, and I think what about Iron Knight? I think all the soft tires are going to try and stay out there for a couple of times. I would have gone hard tires with 20 laps to go, then Serious Rush saying that. So he thinks that Hammer Time thinks that Hammer Time's going to have to really babysit those tires towards the end of the Grand Prix here. That is a long way to go on those medium tires, isn't it? There's Paris, there's Iron Knight there, and Booty is coming into the pits there to serve his drive-through penalty. Unfortunately for Booty, he just drive-through penalty there for speed under the virtual safety car. He got a bit too overzealous, didn't he, when the Delta was ending, and he got on the power a bit too much. And Hammer Time is alongside Winnie. He passes Winnie then in the white Red Bull then, which is very unusual, isn't it? Of course, it's a beautiful livery, isn't it? Made the most of that livery there, because I think it's going to be gone by the Japanese Grand Prix, which is a shame, isn't it? Because that's probably the livery that it was the livery that the Red Bull was going to use in Japan, was it, before Japan was cancelled? So that'll be a shame, but hopefully we'll get the livery. Mediums work though. Sir Tom is saying it, Sir Rush is saying yeah, but barely. So Hammer Time is going to have to we think that Hammer Time is going to have to really eat those tires out later on this Grand Prix as well. Just back at the front here, and Brooksy has now got a 7.3 second gap over Paris in second position, who's had an almighty battle with these drivers here so far. It's now Iron Knight in Paris, battling for second. Is Iron Knight going to have a look up the inside? Not quite then, as he's a bit too far back then. Sir Dave's got a bit of a queue behind him now in the form of Styles. Styles and Dave meets again then after their shenanigans at the Italian Grand Prix. But at the moment, hopefully they will survive this one then. As indeed they do then. Liam D's got a 3-second penalty as well. Liam D down in 16th position on the soft tires there. Liam D is, I think that's neither here nor there for Liam D and his strategy calls at the moment. So that's a bit of a shame. And good to see Hammer Time is really going to have to put the Hammer Time down now as well. He's had a great momentum. He's looking at it. He's just driving past Styles up into 9th position now. He's got fresh tires. That's what fresh tires can do for you. Oh, it's Sir Dave again. It's squirrely there out to the final turn, and Sir Dave trying to block off Hammer Time, but he's not going to have any of it there. Hammer Time should be through before turn 1. He is through before turn 1, and indeed that. But Sir Dave might be a bit concerned about Styles, because look, Styles is coming at him. He's at the inside. Sir Dave is going to have to turn in. Then he does turn in. Sir Dave scampers across the curve there, and he might have to get that position there. Sir Dave for almost a contact there with Styles there. Goodness me! And I must say, there's a vendetta with these two out there. But in any case, and Sir Dave is now it's now dropped down to 9th position. Styles number 2 at 9th position. Sir Dave down at 10th, and I think that he might be coming into the facility there where the soft tires are really struggling on Sir Dave's car, because we've now got the second Red Bull behind him now of Winnie here. We're on board with Winnie at the moment now, who is trying to have a look there in turn 7, but no dice at the moment now. Someone's doing a great job in an ugly car again. again, Terrace Rush was saying he is indeed, is he now? And he's also passed. He's passed. Has he passed Paris? Not quite. And when he's just got past Sir Dave, though, just in the end of that move, and before he went back to the man that Terrace Rush was talking about. And here he is. There he's on screen now. And look, we got a Mercedes and a Ferrari behind it now. ZGS in a 4th position. Castle in 5th. ZGS on a superb first opening stint here. Really good stuff indeed there for ZGS. Potentially a podium again there for the Mercedes driver. Fantastic performance there from ZGS. Iron Knight is unfortunately had a bit of a nightmare final couple of corners there. Into the pits there comes Craig R for the Mercedes team then, and the Mercedes are ready then. So is this the so that's as far as those soft tires go. Hammer Thomas at the fast side of the race. He has got a lovely bit of we got Aston Martin off then. I think it's Ginner. Hammer Thomas got a 5-second gap between himself and Ducanco, which is absolutely good stuff for him then, because you now really start to pound the times in then. Of course, I think he would have undercut Brooksy by now then, but we'll soon find out then, because I think Hamilton's pace at the moment is quite electric there. Of course, Brooksy on 10 lap old at soft tyres, of course. And it's Sir Tommy's asked where's J-Dog is. Unfortunately, J-Dog is working again. He's in the hotel. I'd like to know which hotel he's in. I wonder if he's in the same one as Pitbull. Of course, I think Pitbull didn't Pitbull say about meet me at the hotel or something like that. I'm not sure. Oh, way back when, was it? Goodness me, I'm showing my age once again. I think I had a grey hair and my old moustache the other day. Of course, that's a lie because I can't even grow a moustache. Jinner's got a 3-second penalty. Casal is now gaining on the back of Iron Knight. Then I think he's going to be too far back. He's having a look there. There's contact there, but he's luckily was able to slow the car down just about. Oh my goodness me, then. But that was very wayward indeed. And unbeknownst to me, ZGS is now for third position. My goodness me, then. ZGS said is going to be absolutely hurt. I was going to be absolutely annoyed with me about that because I didn't even notice that. As Sir Thomas says, price is low, so I would have raced for him then. So Rush said no, won't let me then. So yes, of course. So we, to be honest, I'm not sure. It's into the pits there. Comes Brooks then. So he's in the pits there on the medium tires and on lap 12, and that should get him to the end there. Lovely helmet on by from Brooksy. Lovely stuff indeed there. And Brooksy once again in 2 races in a row is doing an absolutely superb job there. But Hammer Time is now done 4 laps on these medium tires, and Brooksy is a yellow flag in 1 then, as Liam D is crawling out the back part of the circuit, and here comes Brooksy now. He's just come out behind Styles, and he has to make sure he stays over that white line, otherwise he will be thrown up. He will be given a 5-second penalty there for dangerous driving. Of course, the white line is to stop drivers there from coming out of the pit lane and cutting up any drivers there. And Craig R has just got past Christian Tina now. Sir Dave is in 13th position now. I think that... Oh, he's up the inside. Brooksy is there. And he gets past Stars. Goodness me, he caught me unaware. And I think he might have caught Stars unaware as well. Stars has done 12 laps on the medium tyres there. Brooksy then is away. Next target is Hammer Time. 7 seconds the gap is there. That just shows how powerful the undercut is around here. But Brooksy has got no cars between himself and his rival in this race. So that's his job. Then he's going to have to now whittle that gap down in the so I don't think any of those drivers there are coming back into the pits. I was hazard a guess there, because the pit lane around here is 60 kilometers long. 60 kilometers an hour is a very long pit lane as well. The top 4 I am not expecting to be in the pits for quite a long time. Liam D out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately, then, and I think he's is he? I'm not sure what's happened there. I think is Liam D crashed in the pit lane there. I think he might have done actually, because he's not moving. DMD isn't there, so that's not good at all. We'll find out. We'll find out. And of course, no, I think he is moving, and he might have just caught a day in the pit lane. We're down to 17 cars in this Grand Prix. So that's a big shame indeed. There, Iron Knight then is all over the back of Scooby Stew, and Scooby Stew, of course, who has not come in the pits either just yet. And look at this, it's just it's an easy pass, and when you got fresh tyres out as well, Scooby Stew unfortunately hasn't come in the pits just yet, but he will be on soft tyres. I would hazard a guess at the end of the race. So who you'll really see Scooby Stew really take off then. So we've had no safety cars yet. Good stuff indeed that Crusher T's in the pits. He's gone on the soft tyres. I don't think those soft tyres are going to go to the end there for Crusher T. So he might be gambling on a safety car here. Mainly probably because he's heard me say safety car. And you know what happens when the commentator decides to say something positive. It really goes peak tongue and go the opposite way. Paris leads the Grand Prix but hasn't stopped. Nor is CGS, Casal or Ducanco. All the top 4 have yet to stop in this race. They have to stop. They have to use 2 types of compounded tyres here tonight. And whether that's the hard tyres, the white marked Pirelli tyres or the red marked Pirelli tyres versus the soft compound tyre. Well, which remains to be seen then. But that is the tyres they got to use. They cannot use their yellow marked tyres anymore then. So that is what they're going to do. Look in the background there. Casal is in third position. Ducanco in fourth. I got that. I think that was a Alpha Tari of Booty Delight then, just being lapped there, unfortunately. So that's not good at all for Booty Delight then. But I thought it was another car actually. I thought the Casal and Ducanco were closer than what they are. Hammer Time's quite close to the back of Ducanco, isn't he? And look at this, and he's picked up the slipstream. He has DRS as well, and here he comes, and he is coming, and there he goes. He's going to go for it. He's having a look. He's quite far back here. He's quite far back there, and goodness me. And Ducanco then is not just waving him by, is he there? And Ducanco might be playing the team game here. Of course, remember Brooksy is Ducanco's teammate, and so Ducanco is really causing all kinds of mischief there for the championship leader, but he's on the outside. And he's through there. So Ducanco really giving himself causing a nuisance there for Hammer Time, and that's going to help his teammate out no end then. Brooks has got the gap down to 6 seconds, and as the goodness me, he is really on the charge at the moment. Brooks is really good stuff indeed there. Iron Knight is all over the back of Winnie. Winnie is not coming to the pitch just yet either. They're trying to go to a sensible window then, before swapping onto the soft compound tyres then. And I'm not Scooby Stew which way to choose. What a move, however, for young Tom is saying. It was a cracking move indeed, wasn't it, for Hammer Time now. But Hammer Time was being hung out to dry there from Ducanco. But boy, wouldn't you there. I have a feeling then that the other Alfa Romeo Brooksy is maybe wave past slightly there between Ducanco there, of course. But unfortunately, remember that the Alfa Romeo teammates did come to blows, didn't they, in the Canadian Grand Prix, which potentially hurt them from maybe the first 1-2 of the season in the LR for all 4 divisions. We haven't had a 1-2 yet in any of the divisions so far this season, which is absolutely astounding indeed, isn't it? But we could have had one in Canada, but unfortunately the 2 Alfa Romeos came to blows in the final turn there. Is that just down the down the start finish right again? The ZGS is close, but no cigar into turn 1. Hammer Time, who's now I think he can probably feel Brooksy is really on the charge there. We're just over half distance in this race. We've still got a long way to go, and this one is going to be a thriller, isn't it? To the very end then as well, which might be a bit up then, of course, as we are celebrating Halloween week here. Well, it's going to be very unusual though, because usually when we have the Mexican Grand Prix, it's Halloween, isn't it, on a Saturday? So it's good because they also celebrate Day of the Dead, don't they, over in Mexico? So that's going to be a bit unusual, isn't it? Where it's not Halloween week on the Mexican Grand Prix. Of course, Mexico is not this week; it is next week now, isn't it? Next week now, isn't it? And then we've got like 6 races in like 8 weeks or so to finish off the season. It's going to be a cracking end to the Grand Prix there. Verstappen there has also extended his lead in the championship to almost 12 points now, which is the biggest gap it's been since the just before the British Grand Prix or something like that. Incredible, isn't it? How close this championship's been ebbing and flowing now. Really good stuff indeed. I absolutely enjoy this championship there. Of course, I am a big old Lewis Hamilton fan there, but what I prefer more than Hamilton winning is actually having a great championship battle there, and it's been good, hasn't it, all the way through. Hammer Time then, of course, there is at the moment there. Hammer Time has been in control for this championship more often than not, hasn't it? But there has been times where he has been putting the pressure. I think that these are one of these times tonight, aren't they? Isn't it? There is Hammer Time is trying to get through the traffic as quickly as possible because we know that Brooksy is on the charge as he's got younger tyres by 3 laps, and that could be crucial in the race. And there's Brooksy in the background. Now we see Ducanco. Behind Ducanco is Brooksy, and there he is then. There's a Casal, and look up the inside there, but he was too far there. The Aston Martin there of, I think that is that Ginner? I think it is Ginner then. Oh, Craig is off the circuit there. Craig has spun off at turn 18 there, and that is dropped him back out of the points there. And yes, that is not good at all then, visit for Craig, unfortunately. And so he's going to lose an abundance amount of time, Craig Arthur. He still is going to be aiming for some good points here tonight then, but that is really going to put him on the back foot in this race. Brooks is now up behind his teammate as well, and when is the pass going to happen? Is the pass going to happen then? Am I just being a bit too confident for Brooksy here tonight then? Am I perhaps Brooks has got a 3-second penalty. That is crucial in the Grand Prix. And goodness me, then he was in the dirty air as well of his teammate as well. Brooksy was there. Oh my goodness me, that 3-second penalty could make or break Brooksy's Grand Prix tonight. Then Brooksy going for his 2nd Grand Prix win in a row, for his 3rd Grand Prix win of the season, for his 5th Grand Prix win of his career as well for Brooksy tonight. Then, but he has got a He's got a bit of a hill to climb now, hasn't he? There, because I think that 3-second penalty, he's got to gain 3 seconds over Hammer Time. He's got to catch, pass Hammer Time. Then Hammer Time's about 4 seconds up the road. Then so that is a massive ass. Casal in the pit said. CGS said half a second back still then, but I think that he might be. Well, this is a much better run now for CGS. And look at that, he's absolutely flown past Paris and takes the lead of the Russian Grand Prix. CGS there once again underline his speed and this in these middle part of the season. Absolutely mega 17. His first points, I think, was goodness me, about, was it the French Grand Prix or something like that? Round 8, I think it was, or round 7 there. It was quite late on the season for CGS there, but my goodness me, he's absolutely flying in this stage of the race, in this stage of the season so far. Into the pits there comes Cass Outway. He's coming out of the pits now. Is he going to get out in front of Winnie? I think he is there, but then we've got Craigar who's having a look as well, but Cass out in front of Winnie and Craigar. Craigar spun there. If Craigar didn't spin, I think that Cassel would have been behind Craigar and he would have had to overtake that. So that may be an advantage then. Iron Knight then is up behind Stars. Now Stars is hanging it out and doing a good job then. Same with Paris and ZJS as well. Into the pits on the last lap around was Cassel on soft tires. On soft tires with Dukanko. We've also got Scooby Stew on the soft tires, and those are the drivers came in the pits on the last lap. Yet to pit is Winnie on 60-node medium tires. Stars on 60-node medium tires as well. We've also got the top two then of Paris and ZGS also on this, also has yet to stop here, but Iron Knight has stopped that on the same stretch as Brooksy, and he's now up in the 5th position. Iron Knight is that, and let's see what he can do. Iron Knight then is now taking the lead then on lap, Hammer Time is taking the lead on lap 18 of this Grand Prix. Now there is Brooksy, and here we go, we've got the fight. This is what we wanted to see all season long. Brooksy 3 seconds away from Iron Knight, but he has to turn that 3 seconds deficit between himself and Hammer Time into a 3-second advantage into 9 laps. Goodness me, this is gonna be a barnstorm then. And this is not gonna be a cliffhanger. We're gonna find out tonight who is going to win the Russian Grand Prix. This is going to get very saucy indeed then. Out of the pits now comes up Paris, and is Paris going to get out in front of Cassel? Indeed he does. There he is. Cassel has dropped down in 6th position there. Craigar in 7th. Look at that then. We've got an Aston Martin Jinner coming out of the pits. Well, hats off to Jinner, by the way, for sticking to it, and good stuff indeed there. We've now got Stars coming out of the pits as well, but Sir Dave has just flashed past. I said we might have Sir Dave and Stars round 3. Goodness me then. Goodness gracious me. If anyone liked knockout boxing and Esports knockout boxing from back in the old days of PlayStation 2, we might get another round of that then. So you just got 3-second penalty. That is crucial. There's a lot of penalties in this race. I've been saying a lot then, the penalties are going to be crucial, and they indeed are then. 10 laps to go. 3-second penalty for Brooksy, Iron Knight and ZGS said. Jitter's got another 3-second penalty. Cassel has a 3-second penalty. Sir Dave has a 5-second penalty. We've also got Booty now on a 3-second penalty after serving that 5 seconds. Scooby Stew on 6, Jinner on 9 at the moment there. Both Aston Martins there, unfortunately, on a nightmare Grand Prix today, and it is being a bit bruised indeed. Then Cassel, now let's see then, Cassel looking stronger on the soft tires, but having said that, he has 1 lap more experience in Paris on the soft tires, of course, then. So Cassel might be able, so his tires would be slightly, his tires would be slightly more worn in here. So I wonder if he might strike whilst the iron's hot, so to speak. Then, but he needs to strike quite early here, quite quickly. Then, when I think that the tables may have turned again, and Paris is now back on a mission there to get past ZGS. But he does have, it's what Cassel says fast off the race, but he does have a 3-second penalty, doesn't he? ZGS, and Paris does it, of course. Dukanko now in 8th position. Dukanko had a pretty nightmare qualifying, but in the race he's got a bit more pace on him. He's in 8th position at the moment now, and he's on course for some good points. And Craigar, who is 4 seconds up the road at the moment, Craigar is, and he is on old medium tires. The soft tire should get to the end from here. I say should because anything could happen in Grand Prix racing. It usually does, doesn't it? Especially here around Russia, as the concrete rules are quite close here. Of course, this is a race around the 2014 Olympic Park here tonight. Absolutely a brilliant venue indeed, then, is it? But unfortunately, the racetrack is probably not the best in the world, is it? It does remind me of Valencia, but having said that, I do mean, I did enjoy racing around Valencia. I'm not really a fan of racing around here, mainly because I like the very fast and flowing end to the lap in Valencia. Boo's got 3-second penalty, unfortunately, down in 14th position there. I like the very fast and flowing end to the Valencia Grand Prix circuit there. Absolutely beautiful end to the lap there. My goodness me, give me an adrenaline rush every time I race around there. Lovely. Unfortunately, well, give me an adrenaline rush mainly because I usually hit the wall quite often as well in the in that circuit. Gap at the front is down to under 2 seconds now then, so Brooksy has is really on the charges there. He's just underlining his championship credentials there. If he didn't have so much bad luck there, Brooksy would have no luck at all, but tonight there he is really matching stride for stride the man who is dominating the championship. Well, is dominating a bit of a strong word, maybe, but he's very much been in control of the championship, hasn't he? Paris is really loving these soft tires there. He's really on the charge now, and look, CGS may not have an answer to the Williams driver. He has DRS wide open. The letterbox in the rear wing is wide open, and the drag reduction system, he's having a look there, but CGS is so good on that straight, and that top end speed of that Mercedes is pretty impressive indeed there. I told him impressive. The gap from second to third is 18 seconds there. The top two are a class above tonight, and they really impressed us indeed there, as the battle in front there is, goodness me, head and shoulders above the rest of the field tonight, and Iron Knight in a superb third position, and then it's anyone's ball game up and down the field here tonight. Winnie has come out in 13th position there on the last of the drivers there to pit for soft tires there, and he's going to be really pushing to get in front of those two McLarens and potentially maybe even be aiming for maybe a points finish as well for Winnie then. So that's going to be a long way to go in the easy. Let's see how much pace that Winnie has in the Red Bull, but the other Red Bull stars also on course there, some good points as well. In 10th position there, but he's about 1.5 seconds away from his adversary from Italy in Sir Dave. So yes, I might be covering my eyes on that one there. Is the battle for 8th and 9th is going to really hot up then with just 6 laps to go in this race. Brooksy then, that 3-second penalty that he had when he was coming through the field there is, I think, is going to cost him, unfortunately, for Brooks. He's been outstanding in this race again here today, hasn't he? But hammer time now, pitting under the virtual safety car, of course. That would have saved an abundance amount of time, especially of how slow the pit lane is here. 60 kilometers an hour, it's such a long pit lane. That's why everyone just does a one stop around here, because you just can't gain back the time that you lose in the pit lane. That's why it's only a one stop there. And that virtual safety car hammer time, I think they might be in the right place, right time. Then we'll have to ask him in the interviews that after this Grand Prix if how close he was to the pit lane. If Brooksy has a chance there to maybe go in the pits, then that would have been a question that I'm going to be asking the drivers at the end of this one. If they finish first and second, of course, as we do have an interview with the old podium rostrum at the end of this one. Paris there, who is still trying to hunt down ZJS. He can get by at the moment now, but look in front there. We're just in a flash of the Haas car. It's Iron Knight who is on the back foot at the moment now. Iron Knight then is currently just falling back into the clutches of ZGS and Paris. So maybe these drivers will be fighting for a podium at the end of this one there. So that's going to be a good result for either one of these drivers, or both drivers. It's been a good result anyway, I'd say. Really mega stuff indeed. Then we've also got Dukanko, who is now putting pressure on Craig Iron. We've also got Stiles, who's putting pressure on Sir Dave as well. So Sir Dave has been on these medium tires quite long then, and ZGS has been overtaken just on Leafham. ZGS has now made his move. No, Paris has made this move and gone past ZGS and up into fourth position there. Good stuff indeed then. That is what he needed to do, wasn't it? What about Dukanko? Dukanko's run out of straight then. Don't think Star's going to run out of straight though, is he? Brooksy is now in DRS range. He's flying on this lap. Brooksy is and he is going for it. He's on the yellow flag in free. Yellow flag and Styles is through. Booty is in the, oh gosh, what's happened here? Dukanko is in major problems. Dukanko is in major issues. Booty is out of the Grand Prix. That is not good at all. And we got a safety car here in this one there, and Dukanko recovering. I'm not sure what's occurred there, but Booty is out of the race, and Dukanko, I think, is leaving back to the pits, and now this has really turned the race, open up the race wide now, hasn't it? Into the pits there comes Dukanko, then Stars in the pits, so Dave in the pits as well. That's our fourth retirement in the race set, and this is going. Now this safety car is this is the first safety car in the race, like that is going to hurt the drivers who's got penalties. So Brooksy, Iron Knight, this is not good at all. I know who is in the pits there. So Craig R, the first driver. Oh no! What's happened here? Jenner is causing all kinds quite some mischief here. And Sir Davis, Sir Davis going to go because he's serving his 5-second penalty again. But look, Junior is parked in the pit lane there. And this is not going to talk. That is ruined, completely ruined Dukanko's Grand Prix. And I think the drivers behind him like Styles, Smithy Almighty and co. This is a nightmare. Or is it then? We'll find out that actually it may not ruin it too much because I forgot about the safety car. But it's Scuba Studio just butted in front of Dukanko. Dukanko has been really hurt by that Aston Martin there, by the Aston Martin parking in the pit entry there. That is such a shame indeed. So Dukanko's got a lot of overtaking to do them, but luckily the safety car's out. So it will still be relatively bunched up, but this is not good at all for Dukanko, is it? He would have been a bit higher up the grid than what he should have been. Into the pits there comes the championship leader and the Grand Prix leader at the moment. And now into the pits there as we've got Becca. Aha! What is I think that yes, the Aston Martin decided to park in the pit lane there, which is a bit rude, wasn't it? Out of the pits there comes Hammer Time. Out of the pits there comes Brooks as well. This is going to be. Oh my goodness me! Iron Knight has stayed out. We got some drivers staying out here. I didn't even fathom this there. If they go get in front of Hammer Time, then I think Hammer Time has just done it. He has done it there. And look, Brooksy has lost an abundance amount of positions there. And there's fighting in turn 2B. ZGS is through. And my goodness me. And that's going to probably surprise Hammer Time and Brooksy then. But Brooksy is in major peril now. He's going to have to come through the field, through Paris, through ZGS, and through Iron Knight then. Oh my golly gosh then, this Grand Prix has completely gone off its rails. It's gone mega now, hasn't it, here in Russia? And I cannot wait then to see how this one goes then. But Brooks does have an advantage there because medium tyres, Iron Knight 10 laps, soft tyres for Paris and CGS 4 laps then. And so he does have a tyre advantage, but that, by the time he gets through, I think that the driver is behind. Hammer Time is just going to absolutely pull away, isn't he, in the front of the field then. So this is absolutely joyous then, isn't it, for the championship leader then. No crashes for so long then. Oof. Yeah, so we have Boots a lot. We have Boots a lot out of the race then. We also had Dukanko who half spun it as well in the final sector. So some major gremlins going on in the final sector, unfortunately. But this is a really, I think that Hammer Time, this is really played into the hands of Hammer Time quite nice indeed. And it was looking good for Hammer Time anyway, I feel that, with the 3-second penalty that Brooksy has. But now I think that with Brooksy on to overtake 3 cars to get himself back near Hammer Time and with Hammer Time on fresh soft tires as well. This is looking quite strong then for the championship leader in the AlphaTauri. Lovely stuff indeed then. So we got drivers then who are quite spaced out at the moment, so I expect another lap behind the safety car. We should be back going with 3 laps to go. Hopefully at the end of lap 24, beginning of 25. Here's Winnie in 8th for this now. He's on a superlative Grand Prix, Winnie is. However, unfortunately, Winnie that has got older soft tires. Sir Dave has got brand new soft tires, so he's going to be up and up, Sir Davis then. As is Smith Almighty, Styles, Scooby Stew, Dukanko, Kaz and Krusty T then. But the race is spread out at the moment though, isn't it? So yes, the safety car should be out for 1 more lap. Then we'll be going back racing in this Grand Prix then, which is good to see, isn't it? So we're going to have a 3-lap sprint to the finish, which is what we want to see. Unless you're Brooksy fans, of course, and I think Brooksy, as we said already in this race, that if Brooksy had any luck, it'd be no luck at all, wouldn't it? Really, because he just seems to have, he just seems to have bad luck, doesn't he? Absolutely appalling that there for Brooksy there, as he was hoping for a second Grand Prix win in the road then after his incredible textbook-esque kind of performance in the Italian Grand Prix just over a week ago, didn't we, in Monza? Of course, ALR has had a bit of a break this week, and we will be back in action, full regular action next week then for Singapore, before having another break then, because of course the Mexican Grand Prix is the week after that, and then of course we'll be having our usual week-by-week calendar to the finish. Of course, from Japan to Abu Dhabi then for the final 5 rounds then to end this magnificent season in ALR. Of course, this is the 6th season in ALR. Goodness me, time flies when you're having fun. So on lap 24, then safety car should be the end of this lap. Then I'm hoping. Hammer Time leads. Second position is Iron Knight on medium tyres. He may struggle then, I think, on those medium tyres. They've done 11 laps as well. Paris in third position, ZGS in fourth then on 5-lap old soft tyres. Brooksy on new soft tyres in fifth position. 6 is Casal on 6-lap old soft tyres. Craig R 7th position. 8th position is Winnie, 5-lap old soft tyres for Winnie. Sir Dave 9th with Smithy Almighty 10th, Styles on 11th with Scooby Stew 12th, 13th with Dukanko, Kaz in 14th, Crusty T in 15th position there. Of course, Kaz and Crusty T was probably a bit out of the game, so to speak there, but this safety car has really brought him back into the fray. Lovely stuff indeed. Out of the race then is Booty Delight there, Jinner out of the Grand Prix as well, Liam D and Picasso both out as well. So those are 4 retirements out of the 19 that started in this race. And so retirement rate in this race has been pretty stellar indeed then. And there it is, safety cars in the start. Then we've got 3 laps and for a sprint finish here in the Russian Grand Prix here in Sochi as well. And this is round 13 of the Cobalt World Championship. And here we go then, of course. So then Hammer Time then is about to get ready to put his toe down. Then here he goes. He's just warming up those soft tires. Seriously, those soft tires don't need much warming up, do they? And he has got a very slow safety car restart here for Hammer Time. He does have maybe one finger on this Grand Prix win potentially. He just needs a good restart here, and then can really put his toe down. Iron Knight in second position there. Oh goodness me, Iron Knight almost into the back of Hammer Time then. Hammer Time, I think he is now going in, and here we go then for a final leg then here in the Russian Grand Prix. And now I think Paris, and who's good speed, is a bit on the back foot here, but ZGS is very much on the back foot, isn't he? Because look at Brooks, he's already trying to go to work then, and the Mercedes has got, we've been saying it all for the race, the Mercedes got great top end speed. And once again, Sir Dave's got past Winnie and moved up to position. Good manoeuvre there from Sir Dave. And away he goes. But Brooks is not going to have the straight, and he's already found out that Mercedes is quick in the straight line, so he's on the outside. Brooksy as he takes 4th position. Great manoeuvre indeed there for Brooksy. Next target is Paris in the 3rd position there, as Brooksy is really fighting as he for his podium here. And remember, he then has to sprint away, as he does have a 3 second. He does have a 3 second penalty, doesn't he, for his troubles at the moment. Iron Knight then, who is defending as hard as he can, isn't he there? But Paris there just trying to get past Iron Knight's one. Surprised they got past Iron Knight yet, and so that's a very good call indeed then for Iron Knight to be in second position still after deciding not to go in the pit stop. So good stuff indeed then. And now down the back straight once again, and I'm going to take it there they are and say fly past the straight then and back in to turn number 13. And I think it's status quo apart from that. And of course, no DRS, and the DRS will be opening within 3. Oh, contact there. Brooksy has just gone to the back of Paris, and I didn't see any debris off the wing then, but even the minutest of damage there on the front wings there can cause all kinds of aerodynamic problems there for these drivers there. 26 out of 27, and Hammer Time is now going for fast lap as well. He's aiming for the full shebang of points here tonight, then that'll be the full 26 allocation, which will be what he wants indeed. Brooksy is trying to come back at Paris said. Of course, ZGS has got quite good top end speed there. Having a look here on the inside, no dice at the moment. Craig is having a look on the inside of Cassell, no good dice at the moment in the background. Oh my goodness me, that's that's contact, and Stars said, oh goodness me, a day late, $1 short there, and he's dropped down into 15th position there. Stars has, unfortunately, and Dukanko now up into 11th position there. Is Smithy Almighty up into 9th fed. Smithy Almighty up into 10th fed. We've got Scooby Stew also recovering as well. Winnie's got a 3 second penalty that may cost him some points here tonight for Winnie. He's doing a superb job at the moment, but I think that is going to be painful for Winnie. I think that may cost him points, unfortunately. Brooksy, who still can't get past the battle in the two here, and in goodness me, also I was expecting Brooksy to maybe just be waved by here, not waved by like literally, but I thought that he was going to have had the pace on those new soft tires, but that's not the case at all, is it? And Brooksy late safety car may have cost Brooksy second position at the very least here tonight, and so he's not going to be too fond of that. Flag there, Stars at the back of the field, and in the Red Bull, and he was having such a strong race indeed there, but unfortunately that's not the case anymore. Winnie's dropped down the order because Smithfield Monty has just got past. Or has he? Oh, that's contact, and that's a brutal chop there from Smithfield Mighty, and Winnie's down in 14th position there, and Crustier T, Scooby Stew also battling out as well. My goodness me then, Sir Dave fed near the back then as well. Star's got a 3 second penalty. Hammer Time on the final lap, then he's got a 5 second gap now as they're coming over the grid just for the 27th and final time then, and here we go. And this may be the best opportunity there. And look, Hammer Time then is harvesting, he's used a lot of herbs by the looks of things. He's going on the inside. Paris as he takes second position there. And the job is done. Brooksy has to get past there, of course, because he does have a 3-second penalty. So does Hamilton as well. Dukanko's got past me from watching up into a 10th, up into 9th position there. Cassell on the outside. ZJS is not budging, is he? Craig there also just in the inform as well. Cassell is the meat in the Mercedes sandwich at the moment. Look at those three drivers there just in front of us. My goodness me, Dukanko, who's seen the trio of cars in the background as well. As Styles here is unfortunately got 3-second penalty there, but I feel that he is going to be feeling a bit hard done by after his brilliant performance tonight. Look, Brooksy, can he get in? Oh my goodness me! Oh goodness me! I thought there was going to be contact there, but Brooks is on the outside there. He's on the outside. The hammer time. Oh, just waving him off forced him off the road there. But Brooksy was coming by anyway. There he was, and he's up in a third position there. And now that is, I'm wondering if Brooksy may have to be asked to get in the place back, albeit both drivers off the circuit there. So I'm not really sure if Brooksy should give that position back. Should he really? Potentially. And here comes Iron Knight, and this is going to be Iron Knight's 6th Grand Prix win of the season. His 6th Grand Prix win in 10 races as well. And hammer time out of the final turn, and he wins the Russian Grand Prix. And that race was made a lot easier, I think, with the safety car at the end there. Absolutely good stuff indeed there for hammer time. He is going to be loving that in his 6th Grand Prix win of the season, his 7th Grand Prix win of his career as well. Absolutely great stuff indeed there. As hammer time dropping down the order then, Iron Knight dropping down the order then. He's got a lot of penalties then, by the looks of things. So Crusher T then, so close to being in the points as well. But Sir David, I think that's a career best 5th position for Sir Dave today, so he is going to be overjoyed with that result. Brooksy doesn't finish in full fend, but doesn't finish on the podium then, because it's Craig R who finished in third position. So good stuff for Craig R, and I think that's a career best for Craig R as well, is it? Let me get out the old stat book. No, it isn't there, because Craig R, of course, has been in third position before then, but he's back on the podium. Craig R is great stuff indeed. Sir Dave drove today. Well, that's a turn for the books, isn't it? Really good stuff. And there he is, and Hammer Time is 6th Grand Prix win of the season, and that's a really impressive drive for Hammer Time as well, because he came in the pits, and it was a strategy call there. He came in the pits under the virtual safety car, which got him track position there, didn't it? And he just absolutely was flying there, wasn't he? And the safety car really helped him towards the end, and unfortunately, because the cars then that came out in front of Brooksy, which really hampered his final challenge there, which cost Brooksy maybe a podium position here tonight. Hammer Time is 6th Grand Prix win of the season, and he extends to in the World Championship as well. Brilliant stuff indeed. The full 26 points there for Hammer Time. He'll be loving that. And second position is Paris, and really Paris has really turned the corner as of late, and since Belgium then he's been on the podium at 3 times in the last 4 races. Magnificent stuff there for the Williams driver. Craig R, his 2nd podium visit of his career in 3rd. Brooksy in 4th today. 5th was Sir Davis, best result of his career and driver of the day as well. ZJS in 6th, Cassell 7th, Dukanko 8th, Iron Knight in 9th, and Smithfield Mighty completes the top 10. Outside the top 10 is Crustier T in 11th, and Winnie in 12th position, Scooby Stew 13th, Kaz 14th, 15th for Stars. Retirements was Booty, Jinner, Liam D, and Picasso, unfortunately all retired then from the Russian Grand Prix. And a quick plug then next week, then of course we are back in action for ALR. It is the Singapore Grand Prix, the longest Grand Prix of the season in terms of time. And Craig R has joined me in the gantry now. And well, Craig R, I was saying that that's your 2nd podium visit of your career then. But you, both Mercedes, had a good pace today. Talk us about your race.
See, if I'm going to be honest, towards the end of that race, I thought I was going to come 4th because of penalties. I think I was going to go all the way up to 3rd. But it was a good race. It was a good few battles between me and a Ferrari. I can't remember who it was, but it was a good race.
It really was indeed that. When that safety car came out for the final few laps, I bet your eyes lit up, didn't you? Because you didn't have no penalties at all, from what I remember. Absolutely fantastic stuff. How did you do it with no penalties around here?
Honestly, I have no idea. I was locking my side. I'm going to be honest.
No, I reckon it was judged, but when you came in the pits, then was it just a straightforward strategy call from your side that came in the? I can't remember. Did you go on to the soft tires towards the end of the race then? Or was it the mediums?
Yes, I did. As soon as that safety car came up, I was actually beside the pit, so I took a wee detour into the pits and put in the softs.
And when that safety car came in, then did you know about all the penalties that was up in front of you?
No, I knew the 2 penalties between my teammate and someone else behind him. I didn't know anybody else had, time penalties up ahead. So I was actually on the moon. Have a lucky go.
And then coming up next week, then we're going to Singapore. Then it's the longest race of the season with 31 laps around that very tight, twisty circuit. How are you feeling around that that brutal race circuit?
Oh, I'm game for it, sir.
Oh, good stuff indeed. Then what's your aims then? Do you reckon you can get another podium there?
Well, I'm going to try my best, nothing but my best, and that'll be it.
That's all we can ask for. Really good stuff indeed today, Craig. Brilliant stuff over your second podium visit of your career. Magnificent. And that is going to be it then for tonight here in, where are we? We're in Sochi, aren't we? Yes, indeed. Yes, I've had a week off and I can't remember what I'm doing then. I don't think there's anyone else in the party, is it? It's just me and Craig are. I think it is, isn't it? It is indeed. That's
Oh
it then
yeah.
for tonight. We'll be back in action then for Sunday then, as it may be a frightener as it is Halloween on Sunday. But don't go